Oh, man. You know, I've gone through enough of these, sports heartbreaks. And, I mean, you guys already know where I'm coming from there with the World Series. But, man, I was hoping we weren't going to get into another fifth inning. Those of you who know, you know, and you might be happy about that. But, man, wow, what a game. Gutsy performance. I understand. I think a lot of people looked at this game. They saw Seattle and they were like, I think this game's going to be a blowout. I think the Rams are better. I think the Rams are going to run roughshod of the Seattle Seahawks. But this is why I had 30-20, I believe it was. And I guess it wasn't that far off, but you have to understand, first off, I saw two things, because I think oftentimes we as fans, we get too far on one side or the other. Shocker, right? On one side, I saw people saying this was a trap game. Let me be the first one to tell you that there is no trap game that revolves around a division. None. There is not a divisional trap game, okay? It's not a thing. Let's just scrub that from our vocabulary now. I'd actually be good never hearing trap game again. Number two, and the other side of it. So on one hand, it's a trap game, but then on another, you get really overconfident and you're like, oh, we're going to blow these fools out. These fools were at home, a place that I mentioned multiple times on my coverage. The Rams had not won on the road this year, right? Remember I said that? The Rams had not won on the road. This was going to be a, what are we looking at here? What would we call it? Just getting over the hump, getting the monkey off our backs. That's what this game was. They had to get the monkey off their backs. This is not an easy win. It didn't go down at all like it should have. But you know what? A lot of the time, that's just the way it is, right? This is football. You play through the whistle. You deal with the bad calls. There were a lot of bad calls, but I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, bad calls. No. I don't give a rip. I don't care. The Rams had to win this game. You lose this game, you go down 3-5. Seattle has the tiebreaker on you, and Arizona has the tiebreaker on you, okay? And regardless of what you want to say, San Francisco's not dead. I've seen this movie before. They're not done. You needed to win this game. You needed to. They found a way to win. It was not good. It was not a clean win. It was not the most fun win until the end. But you know what? They got it done when they had to. That was a hell of a performance by the Rams because it was not perfect. Those are the ones to me that stand out. What can you do? Can you come back when it's not perfect? Can you do it? I don't know. The Rams proved they can. They gave up a JSN touchdown with 51 seconds left on the clock. It's an incredible game. Shout out to HAV. Holy shit, Jake. This game was awful to watch, but thank God for D-Rob and Stafford. Yeah, I have a lot of apologizing to do there for D-Rob because he's been huge the last two games. Catching 4 touchdowns in 2 games, guys. Thank you for the 5, man. Darius coming in with the big 50. Everyone put a W in the chat. Put W Darius in the chat. That is, man, that's awesome. We love that. Darius has been a long time listener, though. So I'm not going to sit here and act like Darius hasn't done this before. But anytime I see this, I got to give a shout out. Let's go, Jake and Ramley. Great defensive showing. Stafford did his thing as usual. Absolutely. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So, Gene, thank you so much for the 2. Jake, Rams D-line stepped up and won the game. Appreciate you. Mike Jackson, thank you for the 2. Rams did it for Peanut. If you know, you know. I am on Team Peanut. We'll just put it that way. Not going to get too much into that, but I live in New York, so yeah. Yahtzee says, fix mic. Is anyone else hearing anything about my mic? Does it sound good? I feel like we go through this all the time. I hate technology so much. I can't even begin to tell you. It's crackling. Oh, my God. All right. Well, always something, right? It feels that way anyway. You can have everything perfectly set up, and for whatever reason, it'll mess up. I don't know. Is it loud? I don't know. I turned it down. We'll see. Crackling, popping. Bit clicky. I don't... Hopefully that's better. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, what a win. Shout out to everybody over on Kick and YouTube. I see you both. Look, I understand. Oh, I didn't even have my... That might be why. I wonder if that's better. Longest pick 6 in Rams history, Jake. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you. Yeah, that was huge. Matthew, thank you for the 5. Why are people surprised by this game? And division games are just like that, kind of like box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Absolutely, Matthew. Oh, man. Loose connection? No, it's pretty connected. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, how about now? That should be better. If it's not, I give up. Yeah, so anyway, what a game. Okay, clean now? Cool, all right, it worked. I just unplugged it, plugged it back in. You know, the good old fix. Good thing I can entertain while I'm dealing with technical difficulties. And you guys have been around since the beginning, so you knew that technical difficulties are always been a thing. It's been a staple of JE Live. As a matter of fact, there was one time, some of you OG members remember, I did a live stream, and for 30 minutes my mic wasn't working. And guess what? YouTube wasn't showing the chat. So for whatever reason, there were a bunch of people chatting. I wasn't seeing it. And for 30 minutes, no one heard anything I was saying. So, damn. All right, anyway. Glad we fixed that. You guys are coming in with the super chats. It's funny. YouTube was like, hey, do you want to set a goal? And I'm like, I don't think I really have to. Like, you guys are awesome. The hell do I have to set a goal for? You know, it's like, you guys always come to play. All right. So we got, let's see, Avatar Dan, thank you for the 10. Verse and Fisk cooked today. Where are all the people saying that we wasted a second round pick on Fisk? Oh, man. Oh, man. Braden Fisk looks outrageous. I saw some Donald in his game today. There were actually twice I saw Donald in his game. He did that one where he disengages from the guy. He shoved the right tackle, Mike Jarrell, used his leverage to then cut inside, 2 sacks. He was huge today. Huge. Fisk is awesome. Verse is awesome. We're going to get into this all. This is going to be a longer stream, I think. Why not? Why are we in a hurry to do that? Baboon June over on Kick. Shout out to you. Just gifted 5 subs. Everyone, drop a W Baboon June in the comment section. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. We're over on Kick. We're on YouTube. If you don't have one or the other, you want to support the channel, you want to support me further, give Kick a follow. Give YouTube a subscribe. If you haven't done that already, definitely do that. I'm on both. I simulcast to both. Giovanni Larios, thank you for the 2. These rookies are doing their thing. Absolutely agree. Ascending Keys Beats, thank you for the 2. Tyler Johnson catch was huge. I love that you brought that up because I actually forgot that in the Bleacher Report stream. I'm going to repost later on after this episode. And I am going to have people on for call-ins. So I wanted to make sure I do that. I wanted to let everybody know that, we will have call-ins. So, there is that. But, man, that catch was absolutely huge. Huge. Because I really thought Matthew Stafford was getting picked. I thought that was over. I thought it was over. I was like, oh, Stafford just threw the game. When I see him do that, like, kind of nonchalant, like, almost like, I'm like, oh, shit. It was over. But no. You look in slow motion, Stafford probably thought it was over. You got to give Tyler Johnson a lot of credit. I've said before, why is he on the field over Tutu Atwell? Well, that was still a huge catch. You got to give him credit. This was an all-hands-on-deck game. You didn't have your punter. You didn't have Jordan Whittington. Puka Nacua gets ejected. You didn't have Noteboom. You don't have Avila, Jonah Jackson, John Johnson. Cam Curl leaves the game. All hands on deck. Everyone had to contribute tonight, and that is the beauty about football. You get this. Now, Dion, I did not say he was trash. I did not say he was trash 3 weeks ago. I said, really, he's just a guy. He's a guy that plays off other guys. He can't be a number one receiver, which is fine. But, man, he was huge today. 4 touchdowns in 2 games. Havenstein left exactly. They faced adversity. Michael King, my friend, thank you for the 5. Go Rams. Pass rush is crazy good. My man Fisk lived in the backfield today. He did. Call him Kingpin. I know we got Daredevil. What is it? Born Again, I think it's called. Season 4. We got Daredevil Born Again coming out in March. Kingpin's in that. Call Fisk Kingpin. That's his nickname. Red Eye, thank you so much for the 5. Appreciate you. Tyrone Mayers, thank you so much for the 5. Looking back, I'm glad they called that BSPI because if not, no pick 6. Bingo. That was a ball don't lie moment. Come on, let's be honest here. There was a lot of those. Jinja Jesus, thank you for the 2. Big win, big W. But when will McVay learn to use Tutu? The world may never know. He had a huge catch, though, on that drive. Deb, thank you so much for the 10. Can I just say Matthew freaking Stafford? Hey, let's just trade him. I know, right? How silly. Remember when teams were saying, or people were saying, this team needs to be sellers at the deadline? Well, now they're 4-4. The question is, are they going to be buyers? I'm going to have a video on that tomorrow morning that will release. Get you guys ready for the trade deadline. Not saying anything's going to happen for sure. But I do think that there's a chance. And there's an interesting trade idea in there that might not necessarily be viable, but there is some buzz out there about said player. And I think he'd be a good fit. You'll see tomorrow. I'm going to be doing that video tonight, and I'll drop that tomorrow morning. Deuce Falco, thank you so much for the 20. Puka got rest. He will be on fire next game. So, not to relate everything back to baseball, but you guys are Dodgers fans for the most part, a lot of you. But any Yankee fans in here will remember Aaron Judge, who's one of the best players in baseball. In April, he was like the worst hitter I've ever seen in my life. Could not hit anything. And then he got tossed from a game. He got tossed. Awful. It was terrible. It was controversial. It was awful. He got tossed from a game, so he gets ejected. After that, there was a split that showed he was hitting like over 400 after he got ejected. If you think for a second Puka Nacua isn't going to be fired up for next game, I don't know what to tell you. Puka Nacua steps up in primetime. That's a primetime game against the Dolphins Monday night. That's a huge game. Dolphins just lost. See, a lot of people look at it on one side, okay? The Dolphins lose a game on a 61-yard field goal. And there are Rams fans that are probably like, oh, no, Now the Dolphins are going to play motivated. How bad is that? You said the same thing about the Vikings. When the Vikings lost a close game to the Lions, you were like, oh no, now the Vikings are magically going to be more upset. We don't want to see them get beat. It doesn't matter. You play who's in front of you. They still have to play the red-hot Rams who have won 3 in a row. They beat the Vikings to do it. They beat a Seattle Seahawks team that was in first place in the division a week ago. You have to play who's in front of you. There's no, the Rams were going to win 4, but now they play the Dolphins who are 2-6, and they're sad that they lost on a 61-yard field goal. No, if anything, I think it's the opposite, folks. I think it's the opposite. I think the Dolphins might quit. I think that's a demoralizing loss. I don't think that gets them ready to play on the road. I think that's a demoralizing loss that could kill them. Now, they're desperate. I get it. They're 2-6, but their season's over. It's over. They're 2-6. The Rams have to play their style of game. They have to do their thing. And if they do, they're going to win. I don't care that the Dolphins lost a close game. We do too much of that as fans. We do way too much of that. Oh no, my team's in trouble because the team they're playing against this week lost a close game last week. Okay. And the Rams just won on the road in overtime on a walk-off touchdown. If that's not a momentum shift, I don't know what is. They already had momentum going their way. That was a game that survive and advance. We watched this. We watched this in college basketball. It's called March Madness. They don't care how you get it done. They do not care how you get it done. If you win by 20, you win by 1. It doesn't matter. All that matters is surviving and advancing. And the Rams continue to survive and advance. They now go into week 10 with 4 wins, and they have a chance to go into week 11 with 2 more wins than they had last year going into week 11 before they went on their crazy run. I'm telling you guys, I said it after the bye. I was confident in this team. I needed some time to think about it, but I really was like, you know what? They're about to go on another run. They're a really good football team. I'm not backing down on my take. I was right. I was absolutely right to say this team could go 13-4 before the season started. Do you know why? Because they're a really good football team. They dealt with a lot of injuries, but they went up against probably the hottest team in the NFL in the Detroit Lions. They took them to overtime with a 4th-string left tackle. Offensive line exploded. Everyone was injured, including Kevin Dotson. He finished the game and then immediately transferred into a walking boot. The offensive line was bruised and battered. Stafford looked like he was banged up. They lost Nakua halfway through the game. Isn't that funny? Both games that they lost Nakua, they went to overtime. Interesting. For different reasons, of course. Injury and then, of course, getting kicked out. But no, this team has heart. This team has fight. This team has seen. They've seen things other teams haven't. They've already been in these situations. Do you know how well this is going to bode for the Rams as the season progresses? They've been in these moments. They had their back against the wall. That's the reality. And yes, Jordan, it is the jersey. Jordan paid last year. He paid the bet. For those of you who don't know, Jordan Phillips, shout out to him, friend of mine. He said last year, if the Rams win 5 games, he would buy me a jersey. I said, I stayed by 10-7. And he was a man of his word and sent me this awesome Kyron Williams jersey. So appreciate you, Jordan. Everyone drop a W below for him. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, people can, say what they want about this team and whatnot, but I really feel like this team is dangerous. And I said they'd win 5 in a row coming out of the bye, and I left the Eagles game up in the air. They're going to beat the Eagles when I'm there. This Rams team is going to be really hard to beat because they aren't going to have many games like this. The offense sputtered and they still won. The offense didn't have their run game and they still won. Matthew Stafford wasn't Matthew Stafford last week and they still won. He threw up an interception. They still won. Puka got ejected. They still won. They were on the road. They gave up all the momentum, went to the home team. They gave up a touchdown at the end of the game. They gave up a game-tying touchdown to send it to OT. They had a blocked punt. They still won. That's it. It's that simple. It doesn't matter how you get it done, just get it done. Julio Zepeda Jr., appreciate you. His name is Kingpin. Yes, absolutely. Man of Paradox, thank you for the 10. The victory is sweeter with Puka resting his body. This is exactly how I felt. I felt like that was a blessing in disguise. I was pissed that it happened, but I felt like it was a blessing in disguise because I was kind of iffy on, Puka playing. But I agree. His ejection was petty in my opinion. Agree. I'm a happy Rams fan. Let's keep rolling. Absolutely. And you Dodger fans, how about another LA championship? How about another one? Can we do that? Can we make it two? The city of champions? Can I get in on the fun? Can we do that? I really think if this team stays healthy, they're going to. I don't care what anyone says. They have the best coaching that you could ask for. The coaching staff is fantastic. This young defense is getting pressure out the wazoo. The secondary is growing up before our eyes. You have guys that are playing games now that weren't supposed to play games. Like Jalen McCullough has 4 picks. He wasn't even supposed to play. He barely made the 53-man roster. He did a great job and deserved to be on it, but he barely made it. So that's just my take. I'm really, really, really impressed with this team. Really impressed. Baboon June says Njoku incoming. I hope so. I would want nothing more than to see David Njoku. I think after this game, you have to see how tight end is a need. It's not a need. They can win the Super Bowl without a tight end. And yes, this is the heavy chain. We went with the 8 millimeter chain. This is a new one. Had to go with it. Anyway, I appreciate you noticing, Peter. So yeah, this is one of those ones where I understand people will look at it and be like, that's not a need. You don't need a tight end. Yeah, I disagree. If you added David Njoku to this roster, are you serious right now? Like, are we kidding ourselves right now? If you added David effing Njoku to this roster, who the hell is going to defend Njoku, Kyron, Puka, Kupp? Oh, yeah, Kupp with the quietest 11-catch, 100-plus yard game you'll ever see. He caught 11 of 14 targets. Yeah, he's good. He's still him. Oh, yeah. Give me Njoku all day. Like, if you can get a tight end and you're telling me it would maximize your scoring output, it would make your offense better, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you give it an opportunity? I would be all for it. Temple Hills Funk, thank you for the 5. This game was not about Rams playing poorly on offense. This was a defensive battle. Got to give a lot of credit. And I like that you brought that up. First off, Gino Smith is a certified baller. Can I just say that? If any Seahawks fans are in here, I have a lot of respect for Gino Smith. The guy's a baller. He threw 3 picks, but he never went down about it. He kept his head in the game. I'm not trying to sound corny or anything. Gino Smith is tough as nails. He got hit multiple times, sacked 7 times today, right? He still ended up with a 90.7 passer rating because he threw 3 tutties, 363 yards. He was great. I understand the interceptions. They were also coming from pressure. Gino did what Gino had to do. The Rams defense once again neutralized the run game. 3.3 yards per carry out of Kenneth Walker. 3.3. 25 carries for 83 yards. Can we talk about how this defense continues? This defense continues to get better. It is so cool to watch. This defense is going to be electric next year. I'm telling you right now. Electric. And give a shout out, by the way, McDonald. Okay, Mike McDonald called the best game that you could against the Rams. That defense sold out to stop the run. You know what's funny? If you watched my Puka Nacua video right before kickoff, what did I say? I said it all week. They give up 180.3 the last 3 weeks. They're third in the league in rushing defense. They give up. But what did I say in the last video? If you watched it, I said, don't be surprised if it's like the Lions game and the Rams can't run the ball because they sell out to stop the run. They did. And the Rams adjusted. They didn't just adjust. They adjusted with Puka Nacua also getting kicked out of the game. That's huge. Jordan Phillips, thank you so much for the 2. I just saw that. MAS Boxing, thank you for the 2. Should we trade for a big-time wide receiver? Not wide receiver. I'm going to say, though, I think they should get Njoku. If you could get Njoku into this offense, oh, my goodness. Someone said it. Colby Parkinson was benched today. Well, you get Njoku, he's not getting benched. I can tell you that much. Mantis, thank you for the 5. Great game on my birthday. Happy birthday. Everyone drop a happy birthday to Mantis. Horns up. Horns up back at you. What a game for your birthday, by the way. So Don, I see your comment. I have to push back here. Ahkello Witherspoon was great today. He had a textbook as well as you could play as a corner. They tell you over and over and over again. And I actually defend corners all the time. I say I have an issue calling a penalty when they say they didn't get their head around. Because this is a style of cornerback play. It's tough, but sometimes guys are trying to read the hands of a receiver and make a quick adjustment to bat the pass down, right? That is what they're doing. But now you have corners trying to play how they're saying, and they're still getting called on. Ahkello Witherspoon got a flag for doing exactly what he's told to do. Turn your head around and play the ball. That Cody White guy tripped over his own feet, and they called that on Ahkello Witherspoon. It's insanity. That should not have been PI. So I understand your frustration. I think it was Don Robinson. I want to make sure. Yeah, Don Robinson. I understand your frustration, but he's not getting beaten on a consistent basis. Ahkello was outstanding tonight. He's been great since he showed up. And if you look, there's a big reason why this defense has done a 180 since Ahkello Witherspoon and Darius Williams entered this lineup. Like, let's just be honest here. Ahkello Witherspoon, Darius Williams, they conjoin onto this team. They show up in the defensive backfield, and now all of a sudden, look at the defense. This is the best the defense has looked all year. They had 7 sacks. People are always saying they don't get enough sacks. They could have had like 11 today. They were all over. Kello's been huge this year. How about the freaking game-sealing pass breakup against the Raiders? That was huge. He's done everything that you could ask for. And guess what? They're paying him pennies. He's signed for 2 veteran minimum deals, and he's given the Rams, 22 starts total? It's not Ahkello homerism. I'm defending him because I see a lot. The problem is the position at corner is hard to understand what you're watching. And when I go and I watch the all 22, it's proven every time what happens. Is Ahkello the most perfect corner to ever happen? No. But he gets all this hate because, and I'll tell you exactly why. People want to know why people hate Ahkello? I'll tell you why. People hate Ahkello Witherspoon because they're used to number 5 back there. He didn't come in and take the easy way out. No. He wanted to be the number 1 corner last year. He gave up 3 touchdowns, and he literally filled in the shoes of Jalen Ramsey, who's one of the best corners in football. So that's what's happened. He played 18 straight games last year. He was banged up down the stretch, gave up a couple of those big plays, and then people just chalked up the entire season of that. He's a very good corner, and he plays, let's be honest here, he plays for pennies. And you never hear about it. He never complains to the media. He's not a locker room cancer. How many players have asked to be out of this organization? There have been players that in the middle of the season, regardless if they were undefeated or not, literally asked to be traded off this team. Playing time. Ahkello had 9 snaps last week. Did you hear anything from him? This is why I defend him, because he's unfairly criticized. He doesn't say anything to the media. He's far from a distraction. He's one of the more underrated corners. It's because he's not a diva. He doesn't show up. There's none of that. You don't see the Trayvon Diggs interaction with a reporter. No, Ahkello just does his job. He doesn't make a big deal about it. Doesn't have to go down to the end zone and do all this, whatever. No, he just plays so unconventional. He's not rah-rah. So that's why I always will defend him. I will. You have to keep it fair. If you want to say, yeah, maybe he should have done a better job on that tipped pass, I agree. That's fair. But when you know, stuff is out there like he's getting burned all the time, that's just not at all true. And I know because I've watched every single snap and every single angle that I can find. But guys, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just 1, it's not just 2, it's not just 5, 7, it's all 11. All 11 guys have to step up. Cameron Kinchins had to come in because Cam Curl left the game injured. Right? Kinchins has been a liability all year. He had a huge penalty against the Lions. He was terrible against the Cardinals. He's had his issues. But when push came to shove, he had a huge play that completely turned this game around. It was not looking good. And you could say what you will, Byron Young forced it. I get that. But good Lord, Cameron Kinchins came through. And this is what we're talking about. It takes all 11. You can criticize Christian Rozeboom all you want. Rozeboom contributed today. He had some key and critical tackles near the line of scrimmage, huge stops. He doesn't get enough credit. Kinchins was great. Rozeboom stepped up. Lake stepped up. He had a sack. Jalen McCullough stepped up. He had an interception. Kobe Turner, Byron Young. It takes all 11. Let's talk about the 4th down. I never in a million years would have wanted the Rams to go for that on 4th down. Kick the field goal. Absolutely kick the field goal in overtime. But McDonald goes for it. And guess what? Omar Spates, who we barely saw on the field all day, ends up with one of the plays of the game with Bobby Brown. You want to talk about another guy that gets no credit? Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is the Michael Brockers of this team. He's actually the youngest on the defensive line. You don't even realize that. They got him so young. Bobby Brown came up huge. Omar Speights came up huge. It takes all 11 and then some. Nick Hampton had some huge plays. He had a pass breakup. He swatted a pass down. How about that play where Verse isn't going to get the sack? And he just puts his hand up and Mutombos it. This is what I'm talking about. The defense, I'm telling you, instead of just saying week in and week out, and I know not a lot of you are saying this, but I saw a lot of it at one point. Defense is trash. Defense sucks. They can't stop the run. Have you been paying attention? Because look, here's the defense right now. The defense is now forced, right? They've forced 22 points in 3 games. They're scoring points. The defense is absolutely stepping up. You know why? Because they have the guys they want to have. Just wait till John Johnson's back. And just wait. Maybe they make a deadline move. How do you not consider after this game? How do you not consider making a deadline move after this game? Adding some firepower to that defense. Adding some firepower to the offense. How do you not consider that? Like, if I'm the Rams, I'm looking at that Jaguars game today, right? I'm looking at that Jaguars game, and I'm thinking, there is no way that was all she wrote. That was a desperate team trying to save their season. Jacksonville did everything they could, and they did not come through. Trevor Lawrence had 2 interceptions. Travis Etienne was their leading rusher with 24 yards rushing. Evan Ingram was their leading receiver with 45 yards receiving. How do you not trade Devin Lloyd? How do you not even consider it? This team is done. Done. Jacksonville is 2-7. The Rams need to call them up and ask for Devin Lloyd, without a doubt. And by the way, if the Rams came away with Devin Lloyd and David Njoku, that'd be the best return possible, because you'd be getting 2 guys that not only can help you win a Super Bowl now, but they're under control for multiple seasons. That's a big deal. So I think it's time. I know, they went back and forth. This is going to be 2022. It's not. They're not 2022. They're more like last year, but they're better. They're getting more pressure than they got last year. The secondary's better. They're getting more turnovers. Offense still hasn't had a chance to be fully healthy. And they've won 4 games despite the fact their offensive line has been nonstop injuries. That's where we're at. Edwin Rampage, thank you for the 5. Jake, always invited to the carne asada, aka Mexican barbecue. Love you, man. Thank you for everything. Go Rams, go Dodgers, go Lakers. I wore my Williams jersey. Hey, twinning. Appreciate that, Edwin. I would love to join you. So, guys, I'm actually going to be in LA from the 22nd to the 27th, I believe. Let me just make sure I have Yep. So the 22nd, I arrive Friday, and I leave Wednesday night. So if anybody wants to meet up at the game, if anyone hosts, like they have a restaurant or whatever and a bar, and they want to host a live podcast, I'm down to talk shop there. But I am hoping to see you guys. I don't have, Ray, I actually have a Dodgers hat somewhere because I played for the Dodgers Little League years ago. It's at my parents' house. I don't have it at my apartment, but I do have one. I do. Matthew, thank you so much for the 5. I think someone slipped some play with a chip juice to this young defense. Yeah. Tim, thank you for the 2. The ref calling was horribly egregious. Absolutely agree. The refs were absolutely terrible on both sides. I will add, Clay Martin should be demoted. He is not good at his job. When you have officials making that many blunders, but also throwing that many flags, it just makes for almost an unwatchable product. And when you're making the sport of football to the point where it's almost unwatchable, you have failed. There's no other way to put it. You have failed your job if you've turned NFL football into an almost unwatchable event. The refs have to be better. Deuce, thank you so much for the 50. Keep in mind the defense will only get better. Exactly, Deuce. Exactly. The defense is only going to get better. They're growing. This is a young defense. Young. Jalen McCullough, 3 more years, right? You got Byron Young. You got Kobe Turner. Jared Verse, you're definitely going to pick up that 5th-year option when it comes. You got 5 years to Jared Verse. Braden Fisk, you got 4 full years, right? Omar Spates, 4 years. Michael Hoyt could get an extension. We'll see. They like him a lot, and they have every reason to. Nick Hampton got involved today. Josh Wallace, I hope he checks out okay. Same thing with Rob Havenstein and Cam Curl. Obviously, hate injuries. Same thing on the Seahawks side. I know they had some injuries. I hope everything comes out well. Want to give a shout out also. Tai Zentner, okay? Look, this guy is not the best punter in the world, but he was asked to punt 7 times, okay? 7. He actually punted 8. He was blocked one of them. So this poor Zentner guy comes in, gets his shit rocked, because I can tell you right now, I never want to experience getting a punt blocked. Every time I watch that play, I'm like, how does his leg not snap? That is horrifying. But you know what? Zentner stepped up. There were 2 field goals and 2 extra points. So 4 times he had to be the holder for Josh Carty. And he did his job. He did his job. And then he punted 7 times for 281 yards. Like, say what you will, 3 inside the 20. He's not the best punter in the world, but you got to give him his props. He was huge for the Rams today. If he was bad, let's be honest here. If he didn't hold correctly, if he gave Josh Carty some fits, if he was bad as a punter, they don't win this game. There's no way you can tell me a game that ended up going to overtime, they end up winning if Tai Zentner is awful. He had no live game experience. I'm really impressed. To get ready, to get going. Wasn't he the last guy signed too? I thought Maynard was signed first, and they went with Zentner. Good for him, man. I think he did punt in 2023. He was actually traded at the deadline to Tennessee. So he did punt in 2023. Houston and Tennessee, 9 games, had a 44.9 average, had 10 inside the 20. But look, I mean, dude just gets thrown into the fire, and he did his job. He punted probably more than Ethan Evans has punted all year. No, I'm kidding, of course, but still. And I'm sorry, I say Maynard. I don't know why. Ryan Sanborn was the guy they signed. But apparently he beat out Sanborn. So I like the way they did it this week. I like the way they did it. Yeah, it was a big deal. Also, Michael Hoyt definitely got a finger on that kick and forced the missed field goal. So I want to give him a shout out there. Ram DeLorean, thank you so much for the 5. Our defensive front is henceforth being known as the Rams 4 Horsemen. The Conductor, Agent Zero, Kingpin, V8, LFG. I like it. The 4 Horsemen. Mr. Donks, thank you for the 2. Ernest Jones told all the Rams plays and calls. Interesting. It is interesting. How do you navigate? Because obviously that was an unforeseen thing. You know, Ernest Jones going to Seattle. They traded him to the AFC. He ends up in Seattle. You're not expecting the guy that was your captain last year to end up in Seattle when you trade him to the Titans. So it is interesting how they were able to kind of navigate through that. That's a different kind of ball game. Ernest Jones had 9 tackles, a pass breakup, almost had an interception. Had a good game. He had 15 last week, 9 this week. He and Dodson. Tyler Story, thank you so much for the 20. Rams beat Seattle and the refs. Frustrating game to watch. Glad we got the W. I don't want to put too much on the refs because I do think they were just bad in general. But happy birthday, Baboon June. I just saw that. I do think they were just bad in general. But at the same time, guys, like, yeah, I mean, it was just kind of uncalled for. Just really not good today. Refs have to be better. It's just that simple. No one is going there to watch flags being thrown. I'm sorry. No one cares. No one is trying to watch more flags get thrown. It's that simple. I mean, Ruiz, thank you for the 2. Section 400, Darth Vader has arrived. Yes, sir. Excited for that. I will be there, Section 400 with Ruiz. Really looking forward to that game. That should be a lot of fun against the Eagles on primetime. James, thank you so much for the 10. Jake would like to meet you at SoFi. What gate you coming into and where are you sitting at? I'm in 200 section lined up with the tunnel where the Rams come out of. That's awesome. Definitely want to see you. I'm in section 400. I don't know what gate or anything like that. Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. But in the Discord, I am going to have like a group chat. I'm going to let people know where I'm at. So, and I'll probably post like a community post as well on here. And hopefully we can get some meetups going. I'd love to do a live JE Live podcast. I'd love to be able to do it at a bar or whatever. If anyone has any ideas, any connections, anything, right? I'm game. I just need to know. I'm not really familiar, with the area as far as all of that goes. I haven't been out there since, I don't know, it's been a minute. So, yeah. Can we talk about how bad John Vilma's commentating was? I'm kind of over John Vilma, to be honest with you. I have a lot of respect for people that put themselves out there, talk for a living. I do it myself. But man, it's like there's sometimes he almost forgets, just because you're a linebacker doesn't mean you always have to side with the defense. Yeah, there's definitely a bitterness, I think, with the Saints connection, the Rams, obviously. It does get kind of annoying. It does. So everyone be sure to hit the like button. Also, just want to let you guys know, if you have not already, be sure to sign up with PrizePicks, today's sponsor. Use the code JKBogan. Sign up with PrizePicks. You can use NBA, NHL, NFL. And when you sign up and use code JKBogan, sign up and do a $5 lineup. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're going to get $50 instantly to your account. Find me a better deal. Seriously. $50 instantly into your PrizePicks account. All you need to do is play a $5 lineup. It's that simple. You don't even need to win or lose. There's no prerequisite. Just play a $5 lineup. It could be a joke one. It could be a serious one. And you're going to get $50 added to your account when using promo code JKBogan. Yeah, I mean, Vilma was very high on verse, but he's very high on the defense. Like, he's very defensive biased, I would say. I don't even think it's necessarily anti-Rams. Sometimes it comes off as that. But I think he's just very biased towards the defense. I mean, come on now. I'm not trying to bully him into retirement like y'all did to poor Bob Costas. You guys see that? The poor man literally retired. Can I talk about Robinson, Jonathan? Yeah. I mean, Demarcus Robinson was huge. He was absolutely huge. He had 2 touchdowns. That one-handed catch. I'll always say this. I have a lot of respect when a guy makes a one-handed catch, and it's literally a one-handed catch all the way through and through. Caught, tuck, all one-handed, okay? He didn't do the one-handed and immediately secure with the 2 It's a one hand all the way through while clearly being held. Clearly being held. Like, that should have been a flag regardless if it was the game winner or not. And while he's being held, he holds on. Hell of a catch. And, I mean, that was just today, man. Guys had to step up that, unlikely heroes. I mean, like I said earlier, Tyler Johnson, if he doesn't step up and make that catch, that's a pick. That's GG's. Game over. Maybe season over. Yeah, I read your super chat, Ruiz. I did. Section 400. Darth Vader. I like that. I like V8. Could have had a V8. Darth Vader. Kingpin. There's a lot of these. The Kinchin Sink. All right, I made that one up. I don't know if that's going to... You just got hit with the Kinchin Sink. Oh, man. No, but Kingpin is just perfect. Dude's name is Braden Fisk. Kingpin. But, like, how many, like, these names? There's so many names, man. Who's winning the Stanley Cup? I have no idea. I could not have been... I was so out of hockey and basketball going into this year because I was covering baseball and football for the first time ever. Cooking in the kitchen. Oh, my God. Hit him with the kitchen sink. I kind of like that. All right. It's been fun. So let's keep it going. I'm also losing my voice. Shocker. Let's keep it going. I'm going to try and get guests on. We'll see if it works. I don't know what's going on today. It seems like the stream isn't as strong as it normally is. Not really sure why, because I saw people saying it was stuttering for them. Jack. Let's see. Oh, got another super chat. Rudy, thank you so much for the 5. Any word on Havenstein? Very concerned. Any hope we have of the playoffs is contingent on a healthy O-line returning. I will say it's good that he was taken off with help instead of carded. So we'll see. Man, what a game though, for real. I'm trying to find it. Sports take years off your life. They really do. I said it during the game. I'll say it after the game. That Yankees 5th inning and this Rams game definitely took at least a year or 2 off my life. No doubt about it. The difference is I had a little bit more faith in the Rams. I knew that 5th inning was coming. You could just tell mile away. But regardless of what you think, and obviously I'm a Yankee fan, I'm happy for all of you. Every single one of you Dodger fans in here, if I haven't made that clear, I'm genuinely happy for you. I'm happy for the city of LA. I am. Like, you guys support me. Like, I'm just a big fan of y'all, for real. So, it's no bad blood. It's not. I do wish you guys won against the Red Sox when I was literally in LA. I was rooting for you then. But there's no bad blood. There's a lot of respect. I'm not BSing it. I feel like I tweeted it out, and I know a lot of people realize that, but I wanted to make that clear on here. That I really do have happiness for you guys. It's really cool to celebrate a championship. Obviously, I had a chance to do that. Vegas Golden Knights, Stanley Cup, the Rams Super Bowl, which you guys did, of course, the Lakers championship. Don't let anybody tell you, it doesn't count because it was a Mickey Mouse ring. Who gives a rip? They still played plenty of games. It was still almost a full season. Never let anyone take away a title. And that goes for the 2020 Dodgers, right? Or was it 2020? No, 2020. Don't let anyone tell you that ring was invalid and it didn't matter. That's bullshit. It's hard to win titles, okay? It's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's why I can't stand, and this is going back to, if you guys saw my, what was it? I was on the NFC West Roundtable, like I normally am. If you guys saw the NFC West Roundtable this week, a big thing I said is sometimes you just have to find ways to get it done, and you're going to get jobbed by the officiating. But that's part of the game. You don't want to be in those situations when they happen. Sometimes you have to overcome those situations. The Rams did that today. They did. And that's why I can't stand when you have fans that want to discredit championships because of the refs or the umpires. And I understand this. I complain about officiating. But I think the common misconception here is when I complain about officiating on Twitter, people are like, oh, he always complains about officiating. He's just saying the Rams, they never lose on their own. They only lose by the refs. No, because they had a chance to stop the Lions. They did. I told you Craig Rolstad was going to screw them, but just because Craig Rolstad screwed them multiple times, the Steelers game, the Seattle screw job, right, with Baker Mayfield, just because he's done it before, and when I say screw them, okay, it doesn't mean that Craig Rolstad was the reason that the Rams lost. That's bullshit. That takes away from the competitive nature. That takes away from the accomplishments that the Lions had. The Lions won that game. There were really bad no calls down the stretch, but the Rams still had a chance to stop them, just like Seattle did today. Seattle had the Rams on third down. Do you know what Jonathan Vilma said on third down? They're going to go conservative here, and then they threw that dagger. There's always a chance. It's taken me a while to realize that, but there's always a chance. It's a part of why you lost the game. It's not the reason, the lone reason you lost the game. It's not because of the refs. It's that simple. I had issues with the umpires, for instance, in the World Series. They were horrible for both sides. Horrible. Umpires were bad for the Dodgers. They were bad for the Yankees. The refs today for the Rams and Seahawks were terrible. The Seahawks got hit with some penalties. I'm like, I'll take it, but what the hell? At one point, I'm sitting there like, I don't even want penalties. Can we just let the game be the game? Can we let football be won and lost by playing football? That's how I feel. I'm over it, man. It's totally acceptable to have an issue with the refs. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain myself on Twitter, when people are like, oh, you're blaming no, I wasn't blaming the entire game. Both things can exist. The refs can be terrible, and the Rams can just have not brought their game to the ballpark or whatever today, right? They were not their best team, but they came through when it mattered. The refs were still bad. The refs were bad with the Seahawks. They were bad with the Rams. That late hit, or not the late hit, but the helmet-to-helmet on Demarcus Robinson, the best way to make them pay is to go out there and actually do it. Demarcus Robinson took that frustration, getting absolutely clobbered helmet-to-helmet, and he ended up winning the damn thing. This was a ball don't lie game. That call on Witherspoon was BS. The next play is a pick. Not just a pick, it's a pick six. This is how it works. You have to be able to do something about it. Again, it's frustrating, and I'm not trying to give the refs any sort of defense. Oh, and I agree with you, Snake. I thought the Puka ejection was bullshit. I absolutely agree. But that's just how I feel. So apply that to all sports. Although I will say this. It got bad with hockey. They literally take goals off the board because they deem it goalie interference. Everything's goalie interference now. So I've actually watched teams, like I was watching, I think it was the Canucks. They lost a game because they scored 4 goals and all 4 of them were taken off the board due to goalie interference and only 2 of them were even questionable. They lost 1-0. The NFL doesn't have that though. There's no like goalie interference. You can't take touchdowns off the board like that. You can deem it like, oh yeah, he didn't break the plane. But you can't take a touchdown off the board. You can't take like a home run off the board. Like it's not how it is. So yeah, that's just kind of my rant. I understand referees were bad, and I do blame the referees for a awful performance that I do believe Clay Martin's crew should be reprimanded for. But at the same time, you have to be able to play through. There's going to be bad calls on both sides. You always have to assume that. You're on the road, so you really have to assume there's going to somewhat be home cooking. Always assume the home team's going to get the benefit. Play to win by more than a possession, and the officiating isn't going to cause anything. You're not going to get into anything. So, yeah. But look, I'm done talking about the officiating. This was such a great win. They already had momentum. That win over the Vikings was massive. And now look at them. Win over the Vikings. Win against Seattle on the road. They couldn't beat. Well, at one point they didn't have a win. So they come back from the bye and they win an ugly game against the Raiders, reminiscent to last year when they beat the Seattle Seahawks without their star player, Kyron Williams, 17-16. No Puka Nakua Cup. Nobody like that in the Raiders game. They win the ugly one. Then the Rams beat the Vikings by 10. People bitch about this coincides perfectly with that ref rant that I don't want to go back to, but I am going to say. The refs didn't give the Rams the game. There was a missed face mask call. Yes. That doesn't gift them the game. The Rams had a 98% chance of winning that game. Now, is it possible that the Vikings could have tied it up? Yes. But the Vikings could not have won the game in that instance. So there is that. So, yeah. Right now, a lot of momentum. This is probably the best way to win a game. Oh, the momentum is going crazy. You had a mini bye week. You're going to get healthier. I love it. And you just won without Puka Nakua, who was kicked out in the middle of the game. Not easy to change your game plan, spur of the moment. So, yeah, no word on Havenstein. Rudy, thank you so much for the 5. Luke, thank you for the 5. What do you think is the main reason why the Rams struggle to close out leads and give the ball back every time in the last few minutes of games? I think Sean McVay, up until today, has really shown he is very predictable at the end of games. When they have a lead, they're going to run 3 times, or they'll run twice, and then they'll throw on 3rd and 9 or whatever. It'll be incomplete. They'll punt. However, this time around, they changed it. Instead of the Rams just running a bunch of times, they actually threw the ball. Do you know why? Because Seattle was expecting the run. Seattle just did it to you. They were like, oh, this defense is gassed. They're playing past 60 minutes. We saw this against the Lions. We planned for this. We're going to run against them. They knew that the Rams were going to try and run, except Sean McVay did not go by the book. The book says run the football. The book, when you get a fresh set of downs in overtime and next score wins, you're playing the drive as if it's the first quarter. You're running your offense. You're not running what they want you to do. So let me be the first to say that. But that's the thing, Luke. The main reason the Rams struggled to close out leads, they give the ball back every time in the last few minutes of the games. is because Sean McVay normally doesn't do what he did today. In the past, Sean McVay has not done that play action deep shot. He has run the ball on 3rd and long, out of the gun. Kyron's gotten 8 or 9, barely missed the first down, and now you're in no man's land. Are you going to go for it on 4th down and give Seattle good field position where they could pretty much kick a field goal to win the game right then and there? Or are you going to punt it? And then they punt it, and then we know what happens. This time, Sean McVay said, absolutely not. I've seen this movie before. I've lived through this too much. I've learned. And even though it's year, 8? Sean McVay is always learning. So shout out to Sean McVay for doing things a little bit differently, not just going by the status quo, but actually doing things a little bit differently, mixing up your approach, and giving a different look. Oh, the bootleg passing game. Matthew Stafford is incredible on the bootleg. He just is. Quintana, thank you so much for the 5. Appreciate you. HAV, thank you so much for the 2. How about those silly geese that grab Mookie? Oh, yeah. That's not representative of me or any Yankee fan for that matter. I will not clump anybody into anything. Just like I'm not clumping that Dodger fan that reached over and caught the Gleyber Torres home run. I just, weird people are in all fan bases. That it just is what it is. I have nothing to do with it. Drew, thank you so much for the 25. Shout out to Michael Hoyt. Huge blocked kick, holding penalty drawn. Appreciate him. And you, Jake. This is why I love you guys. First off, thank you so much for the donation. Second, your donation, putting you in there, like now it's highlighted, you reminded me. Yeah, the block kick I talk about, but the holding penalty was huge. Like, he drew that. Now, he gets the sack. There's not a completed pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba if he doesn't get held. But once again, we're seeing this cheetah package. And if you guys don't know what the cheetah package is, it's 3 edge defenders on the field, right? 3 edge defenders on the field. So you got Michael Hoyt, you got Byron Young, and you got Jared Verse. And I saw him do it a little bit with Nick Hampton today as well. 3 edge defenders, reminiscent of Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide. And, man, I forget exactly everybody who was on that. It was Dallas Turner. Oh, man. It was Dallas Turner and then that one guy. This is the problem, dude. Draft is in your head, and then when the draft ends, it's like you forget, especially when you only cover one team. But yeah, oh God, I cannot remember his name. I think he got drafted by the Dolphins, but Dallas Turner was one of them. Anyway, the cheetah package has 3 edge defenders. You can move them all around the field. You can move them all around the line. And it is very productive when they use that. Having Michael Hoyt, Byron Young, and Jared Verse on the field with Braden Fisk at the same time. Oh, man. Will Anderson, thank you. But I think there was another one as well. Chris something. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Oh, man. Chris Brassard? No. I don't remember. Brassard? No. Someone's going to put it in the comments section. I trust you. We're a hive mind here. We all brainstorm. I know one of you guys will find him. Braswell. Oh my God, I remembered. All right, my mind is not mush yet. Chris Braswell. So the cheetah package had Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, and Will Anderson. And the Rams just ran it. So, yeah. Michael Hoyt, Jared Verse, Byron Young. Love to see it. Thank you for the cheetah package. Shout out to, I almost said Nick Saban, but yeah, I guess Nick Saban, who's the creator of the cheetah package. For real though, shout out to Chris Shula, who continues to make adjustments, who continues to get better and learn from his mistakes, and has ushered in a new era of Rams defensive football. You lose Aaron Donald, and that sucks. Well, how do you fill in the void? You draft Jared Verse, and you draft Braden Fisk, and you further develop guys like Byron Young and Kobe Turner and Bobby Brown. And how about Ty Davis today? Tyler Davis looks good. So, look, really, really impressed, guys, for real. Really impressed. But, oh, man. You guys are killing it with the super chats. Paul, the seafood chef, thank you for the 10. This team is a sleeping giant. No one gives us credit for it. Absolutely agree. We're barely even talked about on First Take on Monday mornings. Don't watch First Take. The Rams are a problem, and we need to acknowledge that. Absolutely. That's why on this channel, you will get that. See, we're not doom and gloom here, although I will admit, let me be the first one to admit, because I'm a believer in self-scouting. I will admit when I was wrong. I tweeted out, let's see. Yeah, this one is over. Because I thought it was over. I thought for sure this game was done. I've seen this game over and over and over again. How many games, Rams fans, have we watched, whether that was the Jeff Fisher, Sean McVay, Steve Spagnuolo, any of those coaches, right? Scott Linehan, Mike Martz. We've watched this game, this type of game, over and over, and the Rams normally don't win these type of games. This team is different. They just are. They've overcome so much, and I give them a lot of credit because of Joe Vitt, exactly. Interim head coach when Mike Martz had the heart issue. Yeah. Shout out Joe Vitt. Somewhere he's probably still coaching. All right. So I think it's time. We had people waiting. I did say this would be a longer live stream. I'm hyped. I know you guys are too. Internet is shit today, though. I hope the live stream. I hope the interviews go over cool, or the call-ins. All right, let's do this thing. If you guys are interested, be sure to join the Discord, which is absolutely free. I do not charge a penny to use the Discord, unlike some other people. Won't name names, but you know who you are. If you want to call in, the link is pinned. And we're going to give everybody 2 minutes because of the win. My leg fell asleep, so this is, oh boy, this is the end. This is the end. Oh, man. All right, there we go. I'm also going to put on the fan because right now I'm hot as hell. All right. If you guys ever content create, let me give you a little bit of advice. Keep a under the desk fan at all times when you are content creating. I'm telling you right now, you'll thank me later. Gets hot, man. All these hot takes you drop, eventually, it's just too much to handle. All jokes aside, though, for real, like feeling like TV static right now. Oh yeah, it's gone. Nolan, chop it off. It's gone. All right. Let's see here. We got Discord going. Looks like it's up and running. Okay. McVay speech up. Okay, so before I get to the call-ins, does somebody want to drop the McVay speech in the Discord? Oh, it's there. There we go. All right, I think I could play the audio, and then we'll have... It looks like it's working now, so let's see. Is the audio?
Hey, bring it up, bro. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up, man. Mother right. And we're down. Let me tell you something, though. What I will say is this. When we came in here at halftime, there was a lot of reasons for us to hang our head. We did a lot of stuff that's very uncharacteristic. But what you guys did, offensively, defensively, to get 2 scoring drives offensively, for defense to just get stop after stop after stop. Unbelievable job. Defensively, I can't say enough about what you guys did. And there's going to be some guys on the front because it seems like you guys were in the backfield all day, assaulting Gino Smith. All right, but hey, how about this guy? 2 picks, 1 pick 6, man.
The kitchen sink.
Hey, what's that?
Get my boy business.
Come on up here, Fred. Hey, but really, the front, all around, I don't know exactly how the numbers came out. All right, but you guys did a great job in just making play after play. All right, doing things that, hey, the way that game went, all right, was one of the ones that I've never been a part of. It really, that was crazy. All right, but to be able to say, hey, defensively, we get the 4th down stop. All right, they went for it. You got that stop, man. And then a few plays later, D-Rob closed that game.
Next week, rounds on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Man. That visiting locker room is terrible. It's so crammed. But no, that's man. That's hilarious too, because he's just like, yeah, you guys assaulted Gino effing Smith. It's hard to even hear because there's so much like cutouts because of how much he cusses. It's hilarious. All right, cool. Let's bring some people in. Looks like we got some lined up here. If anyone at any point wants to call in, I've posted the link in both the Kick and the YouTube chat. If you want to become a member over on Kick, or not member, but if you want to join and you want to follow, I do gaming streams on there as well as All 22. Full disclosure, I know a lot of people were wondering, hey, where did All 22 go? All 22 didn't go anywhere. I got food poisoning straight up on Sunday night. I was at a wedding. I thought I was going to die. I don't even know if I told you guys this, but I was in the worst shape of my life. I've never felt worse in my life. And it kind of threw me off the whole week. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been kind of out of it. World Series, Rams content. It's just been a lot. So I figured we'll just re-up the All 22 next week. Bro, it was bad. It was really bad. It was hollandaise sauce on salmon. So I love salmon, but I might have to, move away from having salmon for the next 2 years just because I'm probably going to have PTSD after that. But yeah, I totally was like, I was texting my friend and I'm like, bruh, like you might have to call an ambulance. Like I feel like I'm literally going to die. And my friend, he saw me and he, like, apparently I had like black eyes and everything. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad. He's like, it looked like you got knocked out by Mike Tyson repeatedly. Yeah, I don't know what it looked like. I didn't have a mirror to look at it, but yeah, not good. Yeah, just very, very traumatic. But at the same time, like, we're good. Everything's good. It's just, this week, it's been going in slow motion, and it's been a lot, and I'm just ready to move on. So All 22, to make a long story short, will return next week over on Kick exclusively. If you want to check that out, if you're on YouTube, definitely go and give me a follow over there. Would really appreciate that. The link is in the description, and of course, it's put in the comment section there. Let's bring on some callers now, since I've had people waiting a while. But yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, let's do this shit. Okay, we're gonna go with HAV. What's up?
All right. What's up? Can you hear me?
I got you, man.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm putting you on the clock now. You got 2 minutes. Say everything you want to say about the...
1 second.
Oh, you can't hear me? Okay.
Let me just change my audio quick.
Sounds good.
That's better.
You can hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put you on the clock. 2 minutes. Say whatever you want to say about this game and the Rams.
Okay, sounds good. For starters, Jack's poor throat. Like, geez, dude, after this game? Fuck. Anyways, dude, this game was gnarly. This was gnarly. This was not a fun game to watch for me. And even at the end, when they got the touchdown, I didn't even think that. I thought they were going to call it back. I thought they were going to call like a PI or something, or they're going to say he didn't have full possession of the ball. But let's see all the big things. Okay, the Puka ejection. What the hell was that?
Awesome.
That was ridiculous. That makes no sense. It felt like it was intentional. Like they were kind of just waiting to pick at the Rams for something. So I don't know if he's going to be back next week. Is that how that works? How do ejections work in the NFL?
I don't think he gets suspended. I think he gets fined, but I don't think he gets suspended.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that, and then the Ahkello bullshit call. That was horrible.
Awful.
And then the targeting on D-Rob. It's like it's just what are these calls, no calls? I don't know. The whole game felt ugly. I'm kind of pissed that offense let them get back in the game and tie it up like that. Because we were at a point where we lost the coin toss. I was convinced they were going to blow it. I was like, oh shit, we lost the coin toss. We all know how this goes, you know, with our amazing overtime rules. But hey,
I know.
They pulled it out in the end. That's all that matters. Like, yeah, it took me a while to still kind of like, this didn't really feel like a win at first. It felt like, oh shit, like we're going to lose this game. But hey, they figured it out, and D-Rob made a big play. And yeah, that's what matters. D-Rob, the Tyler Johnson catch, which I thought was a pick at first. I was like, oh god, that was horrible. But whew, yeah, they pulled it off.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, the Tyler Johnson thing was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah, that's brutal. But
like you said, you saw him dump it off, and you're like, oh god, he just threw the ball away.
Yeah, I thought that was picked. It just, you've seen that.
Me too.
That arm, and obviously you've seen him throw touchdowns like that, but more often than not, you've seen that. Like that. Yeah, you've seen that go south, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, we just put enough heat on it, you know.
Absolutely.
Give them time to get over to it. So, but yeah, no, we figured it out somehow, and I can't believe they actually won.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you calling in.
For sure, man.
So we got a next Monday night, and we're not going to do a watch party. We're just going to chill and go live after. So
prime time.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
I'll see you then.
All right, see you then, dude.
All right,
Peace.
Thanks as always, man.
Yep.
Okay, next up we got Falco. What's up, man?
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You got 2 minutes.
Cool. Okay. So, first off, what an incredible win we had today. When that went to overtime, I was kind of like Hava. I was kind of convinced that we were going to lose this game just because we know how this goes with the Rams. Like Matthew Stafford calls heads, it flips up tails, Seattle gets the ball. But we held on to that 4th and 1. Incredible play by Omar Spades for making that incredible tackle on 4th and 1. I think he's going to keep his job over Trey Reader, if I'm being honest. Like he should have since week 1, but I digress. Then that Demarcus Robinson catch was so clutch. Like after he dropped that first pass early in the game, he made sure to never drop another pass like that.
Yeah, that was huge.
Also, your point on Cooper Kupp, he actually literally did have the quietest 11 catch, 100+ yard game ever. Holy shit.
I've never seen anything quieter. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, and also, I told you this since week 1, like when the defense was not that well conjoined with one another, like week 2, week 3, and we were like concerned about the defense. This defense is young, and they're improving. We had 7 sacks.
Yeah.
I don't know how the sack numbers worked out per se. I think Fisk had 3 sacks, I think, officially, which was incredible. Also, per Blaine Grisack, the Rams defense generated season highs in pressure rate of 59.1% and sack rate of 15.9% against the Seahawks. They also recorded 12 quick pressures and a 27.3% quick pressure rate. Kobe Turner, with a season high 9 pressures, led the team.
Yeah, that's huge.
Insanity.
Absolute insanity.
I had some concern about the offense just because we weren't driving down the field as effectively as I wanted to. But that's partially due to the BS Puka Nakua ejection, which, whatever. It got him some extra rest. But I don't know how the suspension is going to play out. So we have to wait and see on that. But aside from that, all around stressful game. Happy we won.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And I just love the all hands on deck. Sometimes you have those games where everyone has to actually contribute. And I thought we saw that. Just pretty much everyone did something to contribute. Like
Cam Kinchins, on his first ever interception as a Ram, broke the franchise record of interception return yards at 103 for a pick six.
Oh, yeah. No, it was absolutely insane. He's going to
be a star one day. He's going to be a star, but all in all, happy with the win. We're back up to 500. Sucks, though, that we're not first place right now because Chicago blew it against Arizona, so... Seattle's first... No, Arizona's first place in the division, but we can win the division back easily with Seattle descending back down to reality, with us ascending back up. San Francisco having a lot of issues. Arizona, they look like more pretender than contender to me as well. So,
yeah. No, man, I really appreciate you calling in as always. Looking forward to this week where I'm actually able. Well, I say able, but I'll feel better about streaming over on Kick and doing a little bit more of the extracurricular stuff because I just like I said earlier, prefacing it. Sick. Yeah, it was a weird week. My mind was all over the place and my sleep schedule, which is normally always screwed up, was probably more screwed up than it's been in years. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to some normalcy and man, what a win.
What a win that was.
But appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, talk to you as well, Jake.
All right, later, Falco.
Have a good one. Later.
All right. Let's see. Mike A, how's it going?
What's up, Jake?
Not much, man. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say about this Rams win.
Awesome. Yeah, so first game in person in nearly 20 years. I think my last in-person Rams game was Isaac Bruce's return to St. Louis as a 49er, so it's been a while.
That's awesome.
That game got way more exciting than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good game. I'm with you on the tight ends. Njoku would be good. Just anybody who will just try to catch the ball would be great. I mean, I don't think any tight end caught a ball today. Maybe one. And the throws that were going to him, they were just basically playing defense. Jumping at the ball, batting it down. I didn't see any of them trying to make a catch. And my seat was off the south end zone, off the left side, and that corner was wide open for a fade many times. I don't know. Seems like that's a play the Rams go to quite a bit, but for whatever reason today they weren't going that way. So I think that Puka ejection, I was worried about it when that play happened. The interception, Puka got up and the guy just flat out decked him. So I'm with Puka on that one. I would have punched him too, but but no, it's a good game. But yeah, no, glad to be on the win column for sure.
Yeah, 3 in a row, huge. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
No, man, just excited to see that one in person. Go Rams.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you calling in.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right, we'll see you.
All right. Got. Darth, how's it going? Welcome back
Going
in.
good. How are you, Jake?
I'm good, man. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Want to hear from you about your thoughts on this game.
Oh my goodness. It was a roller coaster. It was uh probably one of the ugliest games to watch, but I'm so happy that they could pull off a huge win that they needed. Like if they lost this would be uh really hard to bounce back, not only for like the division but just for trying to get into like the playoffs. And um uh, this team just keeps on fighting. And I mean, man, today was just hard for Kyron Williams to get anything going. Like we just I mean, the Seahawks just really went to like stop the run. And um but man, like Demarcus Robinson was amazing. Cooper Kupp is just a beast, and we all knew it. He's not washed. He can still play at a high level when he's healthy. Matthew Stafford just keeps on balling, even though he made some bad throws that could have been some picks. But and the my goodness, the defense was all over the place. I mean, I knew that this defense can like get going. It's just like, Chris Shula just getting used to these guys, and they're young. I mean, they just keep getting better and better. And man, if the offense just clicks and the defense is clicking, this team is so dangerous. Like you should not doubt this team. Like this team can definitely go deep as long as that we stay healthy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this was a huge win. And I hate to say it was like the season on the line and everything, but you put yourself in a tough spot where there's really a small room. Like the margin for error is so slim, and it looks like you're probably going to have to win this division to make the playoffs. So yeah, not easy, but they got it done, and they kept the momentum, because the momentum could have gone south if they didn't win this game. If you lose the game in overtime the way, they would have lost it, that would have been brutal. But no, appreciate you calling in, man. And I'll talk to you hopefully after the Dolphins game.
Yeah, it's been great. That game is going to be interesting because I I know like the Rams have done well against the run, but I'm honestly kind of scared of like how they're going to handle the monsters that the Dolphins have, because they got some like really fast guys, multiple. So it's going to be a difficult to game plan against that.
Yeah, no, I agree, but appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah.
All right, I will catch you.
All right, see ya.
Later. All right, let's go. Let's go with Phoenix Nash. Phoenix, how you doing, man? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes here.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I can breathe right now.
Yeah, that wasn't easy.
No, it was not. But it was a good day to get the dub. Yeah, division rival, of course. Division games are just crazy. So I'm glad at least we got that dub today. So even though it was ugly, but we got it done.
Yeah, what are some of your thoughts on this team moving forward? They've now won 3 straight. They're 4-4. One game, behind in the win column, to the Cardinals, who they lost. They have a loss too. But I don't know. This was a big win.
Yeah, this is a big win because this is a division win. So, we were like last place, yesterday? Now we're second place. So,
yeah,
we're still in it.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, it's like I hope this dies down the crazy talk of like trading away like Cup and Stafford and having mock drafts and all this other crap. So, like, we're still a good unit. Like in the game, the one thing that I noticed was like Gino using those hard counts on us. That kind of like really killed us. Like, they were always getting us off the line. Like it was like I was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
And it was like so back and forth. Like, they would mess up and we would get back in it, then we would mess up and they get back in it. It was just like up and down, up and down. But, of course, you've already said your thoughts about the refs, and I totally agree. And, everybody, I'm pretty sure in the chat and on these calls, say the same. Like, the ref calling was, I don't know. It's just, I think this year it's just been really bad. Like,
oh, it has.
and I think they should be held accountable. And I think that they should be going to the podium and explaining their thought process on why did they make that call.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
they should be like held accountable because they do all the stuff and then they hide in their little corners and stuff and not say anything. They just write a report. But no, go to the podium and say, why did you make that call? Or why did you miss that call? That blatant head helmet to helmet on Demarcus Robinson. Why wasn't that a call? So
no, I agree. Definitely.
But it was a good dub today. Stressful as always. It's just like when you just give these teams just a chance, they're going to take advantage of it. And, the whole like overtime and coin toss. And I was like, oh man, are we having a replay of like Detroit?
I know. It looked exactly like that.
Yeah, because it was like when he said heads and then it's like in its tails, I was like, oh man, it's Detroit all over again. Here we go.
Tails never fails. I did not pick tails.
Hopefully like we can like, make Stafford choose tails next time if this ever happens again. But, I'm glad that everybody stepped up. I was really hoping for Tutu to catch that deep ball, but, because I'm always pulling for Tutu, of course, But Demarcus, he clutched it in the end. I'm happy that, we just didn't fold. We didn't just go under. We still fought until the very end, like, because Seattle had like the momentum, shift. So they had every right to win the game, but we just came back and said, no, we're coming back fighting. So that's one thing I do love about our squad, that, we're not going to go down without a fight. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the time is. And it's like, we got Stafford on deck. So, the fourth quarter comeback king. So, you can't go wrong there. So.
No, absolutely. You can't go wrong there. He came up big.
No.
He wasn't the best today, but Phoenix appreciates you. And we'll talk after the Dolphins game.
Yeah, sounds good, man. You have a good night, Jake.
You too.
All right. See ya.
Take care. Right. Let's get into. Okay, we got Rusty. How's it going? Rusty's on mute, so we'll see if.
Jake, what's good, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Sorry, I'm helping my dad. I just recently moved, so.
You moved?
Yep.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah. But first of all, como esos Dodgers? Sorry, Jake.
It is what it is, man. I'm happy for you.
But yeah. Well, to be honest, Jake, offense looked putrid today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what was happening. Just we're in our inability to just get points on the board. Then we managed to fix up those mistakes in the second half, but defense played hell of a fucking game. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
They played their ass off. Jalen McCullum and fucking Cameron Kinchins, they had a grudge against Geno Smith, bro, because they made his life a living hell. the D line too.
No, they did.
Yeah. But yeah, Stafford was getting on my nerves a bit because just those horrible passes and that BS on call the refs did on Puka. So asinine, bro, I swear.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you let the guy punch me, but I can't punch him back. What kind of shit is that? So yeah, so it was a pretty good win. Just very ugly, but we have to get used to those. But hopefully we get our offense back. Yeah, I'm tired of seeing Limmer at center and Didich at guard. I want Steve back. I want Steve back on the O-line. And yeah, pretty much. Defense was like the MVP of the today. Offense, they were basically like the backups in a way.
Yeah.
Other than that,
they've been really good though. The defense has consistently been really good since the bye. That's 3 games in a row now. We've seen really good defensive play. So, you know.
I was about to say if I was Shula, I would have like sucker punch McVay because he would have really thrown away my amazing defensive game because his inability to get the offense rolling. Yeah, I would have been pissed, but it was a good win. Feels good to be at 4-4 and ready for the Miami game.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I appreciate you calling in, man. It's good to hear from you. Once again, congrats on your Dodgers. And, hopefully I talk with you after a Rams win against the Dolphins.
Yep. Let's do it, Jake.
All right. Later, man.
All right, have a good one. See ya.
Okay. Let's see here. Jack, what's good?
I feel like I got called out earlier.
You absolutely did, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, that joke is never going anywhere anytime soon, so I'm gonna embrace it. Man, what the heck? How do we win that game?
I know
that's the kind of people need to understand. Like the Rams never win those kind of games. Like I can't remember a single time as of late where they get like it feels like almost every call isn't going their way. Something big like that happens where Puka gets ejected, and then we allow a late touchdown with 51 seconds left. They don't win those kind of games.
No.
And the fact that they were like staying in it the whole time, and it was one of those like you kept saying too, it was like a win at all costs game. Like it doesn't matter what it takes, you just want to go out there and win the game. Like that's exactly what it was. And I honestly, as stressful as those kind of games are, those are like I think those are kind of the most fun to like, I guess, I don't want to say fun. I'm not sure what word terms I'm looking for, but like, you don't have to like nitpick at every little thing here and there. Like you just want to see them win the game. And the fact that they were able to pull it off today against a divisional opponent to get back to 500, to get themselves right back in the thick of the playoff race. I mean, celebrate this win. This is a huge win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To do it against your rival, so that counts twice on their field, because you're finishing the season. I think it's against Seattle. That's at SoFi. That's a huge game. So yeah, you put Seattle in a tough spot. They go on the bye with no momentum. They can come out of the bye with momentum, but now you got to play the Cardinals and the 49ers back to back. That's not easy. So that was a huge thing that the Rams did today. They really put a lot of pressure on Seattle and almost kind of negated their 3-0 start. So
yeah, I didn't really believe in the Seahawks that much, to be honest. Like you never want to take an opponent lightly, but the Seahawks to me have always sort of been, or at least this season specifically, that have like kind of been that they're doing a good job at beating what's in front of them type of team. When you play somebody like Skylar Thompson instead of Tua, it's like, all right, well, they're probably going to win that game. But, they played Detroit. They got their butts kicked. And then it was just kind of like, all right, we might be seeing what the Seahawks really are made of this year. And as it turns out, I don't know. I don't want to take them lightly still, because divisional opponent, they can always play us weird. But at the end of the day, this is a big win. How about Jalen McCullough? We're not talking about him enough. 2 picks. Or no, that was Cam Kinchens that had 2 picks, but Jalen McCullough had a pick.
Yeah, he's got 4 already.
Yeah, he has 4 picks. It's ridiculous.
He just started playing after the bye.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's not even supposed to make the team, and he's here and he's getting picks left and right. Cam Kinchens with the 103-yard pick 6. I feel like that's where we should have put the game away, to be honest, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, I could nitpick all the time later when I will go back and watch the film if I ever have time to do that, but we got the win. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. On to the Dolphins, and just so you know, I'm already first prestige level 31 in multiplayer. So yeah,
dude,
I like Black Ops 6, so we will be playing.
As soon as you get on, hit me up. I'm gonna try and download it soon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the zombies is pretty fire, the multiplayer is fire, and I'm just waiting on the what the hell is it called? I can't even remember what it's called.
Warzone. Ranked competitive. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, Warzone.
I don't know. There's a billion different modes.
Yep, Warzone. I think it's the 14th is the update. So, yeah.
All right.
But I actually do recommend the new Black Ops. I was surprised how good it was. But yeah, man, I'll keep you posted on that front. But appreciate you calling in, Jack. And yeah, let's keep this thing rolling.
Indeed. Also, let's go Dodgers. Sorry about the Yankees.
Hey, congrats.
Had to get that in there.
It's all good.
Thank you. It was. I wish that series wasn't so underwhelming, but it is what it is.
It was the most exciting 5-game series I've ever seen. That's how I would put it.
If such a thing should exist.
Exactly.
In a best of 7.
Yes.
All right. I'll catch you later.
All right. Later, my friend.
See ya.
Okay. Ian, how we doing?
Yo, it's good. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from
holy
you
crap,
too,
Jake.
man.
What a game. Oh, baby. This game, let's just sum it up, Rams Nation, Jake, everybody listening in. There was hell yeah. And then, shit. And then, oh, what a good play. What the hell are we doing? It felt like it was just back and forth nonstop. But thank God we won this game. Because let me tell you, I would have been in a bad mood the rest of the night if we would have lost. Just being real about it.
Oh, yeah.
But how about you, dude? Sheesh.
Well, you already know. I talk for a living, and my throat is already gone. So if I had to talk for hours about them losing that game, after what I dealt with as a Yankee fan in Game 5, the 5th inning from hell.
Oh, yeah, rough.
I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah, rough.
Sports just aren't for me. It is what it is.
I don't know. You hit those lows, man, when things get rough. But luckily, we didn't hit that low today. And let me tell you something, though, everybody, Jake. Guys. What an insane Jekyll and Hyde game this was for the defense. There's moments where you see the pass rush get there, and you're like, damn, Braden Fisk and crew look good. Damn, Jared Verse is defensive rookie of the year, no doubt about it. Oh, there we go, Byron Young. That's good pressure there. Hey, Tyler Davis, first sack. Hell yeah, good to see that. Kobe Turner getting some action and getting some quarterback hits, and I think he had a sack as well, if my memory serves me right. And then, the secondary just has massive blunders and just flat out just bad plays. And you're like, what the hell is happening? I was pretty down going into halftime. And I'm glad we were able to get a touchdown right off the bat, when we got the ball back in the second half to open up that second half, And from there, it was just a slugfest, man. Just who was going to screw it up more. And luckily, Gino Smith and crew screwed it up way more than us. And let me say this about Cameron Kitchens real quick now. I'm just thinking about it. I've been pretty down on him since, as you know, I watch a ton of film, and he had a ton of bad moments, Jake, Rams Nation.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of bad film of him where it was like, yeah, dude's not ready to go, which is why McCollum had another interception today, by the way, crazy. And Josh Wallace were getting a lot of burn in the dime package. So when he was out there, I was nervous, no doubt about it. I was like, oh, crap, man. Hang on, and hopefully he doesn't have a lot of coverage bust. But for him to make a play in the pick six, insane. But the second time for him to be in the right place, right time with, I don't know who tripped up the tight end or who kind of jammed him at the line. Was it, I I have to go back and watch the film. I can't think of it right now, but obviously that helped. But then Kitchens was right there for Gino, on the pressure when he just threw it to that area, and man, he saved the day. So respect to Cameron Kitchens, who, again, I've been down on based on how he's played, but today he saved the season, saved us from possibly losing the West to now possibly winning the West with those two plays there. And shout out to him, man, because we don't win this game if he doesn't make those interceptions. It's crazy.
No, I hear you, man. The Dolphins game, desperate team. I'm not overlooking them, but I feel like
I'm not either.
I said earlier, the constant fan kind of outrage or the sky is falling approach when a team loses the week before. Like, oh no, now they're going to come in more motivated. It's like, there are 17 games in an NFL season. What the hell do you mean they're going to come in motivated? Of course they're going to come in motivated. Like what? Yeah. Why would a team on prime time not be motivated? Why? Yeah. The 2022 Rams and Baker Mayfield were motivated. They won that game.
Yeah. And look, No, I agree with that. I agree with all of that, man. I mean, what is their record now? 2-6 because they lost to the Bills today in a heartbreaker, right? Was it the 61-yard field goal they lost it on? Yeah. Well, that team is good, right? They have Tua back in the lineup.
Yeah, it's not a 2-6 football team you're playing right now.
No, they're not. So I'm not overlooking them. So I'm glad we were able to pull this one off. So if some BS happens on Monday night, which Rams Nation, I'll see you out there. I'll be at that game Monday night. That should be crazy. Hopefully everyone pulls up for that.
You're going to be at the Eagles game, right?
I'll be at that Eagles game later this month too. So I'm trying to go to as many games as. Yep, we'll link for sure. I'll be there bright and early at tailgate. Whoever pink lot people, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this game. So shout out to Cameron Kitchens, and then you know what? I want to shout out Coach McVay and the offensive staff and LaFleur and everybody you can think of. I've been critical. You and I have talked on these post-game reactions or even in private, just how annoyingly stupid it is where McVay bails on the run, and when he bails on being diverse with his offensive formations. What I mean by that, guys, is that we all know he's an 11 personnel heavy guy, right? 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Cool. When everyone's healthy, great. Let's do a bunch of it. I'm proud of him for the Vikings game, doing a lot of 12 personnel and even some 13. And I said it to my guys on the Rams Up pod. Shout out to everybody who tunes into that. I was like, look at it. Hopefully McVay will stick with it this game because the Niner game, it was that way. And in Chicago, he bailed on the 12 personnel in the run game for the most part. This game, he did not do any of those things. Did not bail on the run with Kyron. He got over 20 carries. Hopefully he gets 25. That'll be his minimum. It seems when he gets 25 overall carries or touches, good things happen. He was at 23 overall today. So hopefully we get 25 next game. He didn't bail on it. And we saw still a lot of 12 personnel and even some 13. And that diversity helps out this offense, helps out Stafford, just helps out the flow of the game, keeps the defense guessing because there's only so much you can do out of the 11. So I'm proud of him and the offensive staff for not bailing on that and keeping that going for another game. Hopefully that doesn't change next week and beyond either, though.
No, I hear you, man. But, hey, I appreciate you calling in. And, man, it's been fun, and let's just keep this train rolling. I had them winning 5 straight coming out of the bye, and
nice.
I had the Eagles game kind of up in the air because they've never played well against the Eagles, but I'm going to be there. Well so ever. They're going to win. They're going to win.
Yeah, I hope so too. Dang it. I mean, Philly fans will be pulling up there pretty heavy. They have a good fan base out here for whatever reason. It'll be more Rams fans, the better. So Rams Nation, if you're listening in, if you can afford some tickets, I mean, guys, I got the Monday night game tickets pretty dang cheap for some decent seats. So if you can afford it, you got time on Monday or any future home game, go out for the crowd, show up for our players. I mean, home field advantage is needed for these young cats who aren't used to it. And me and Jake will be out there Sunday night in less than a couple, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Pull up to that one if you can. And, party, come have a couple brew and let's celebrate a Rams win, and hopefully we get more conversations of good ball before then, because please, we need it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, we definitely need it. Appreciate you, Ian, and we're gonna try and get the the Illuma Rami. We'll try and get that together.
Oh yeah, that's right.
During the I'm thinking the mini bye week after the 49er Thursday night game.
think it's a good time. We can get together on that Sunday. I think everyone will have some free space. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. So you take care, man, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, Jake. Ramley, Allude, go Rams, run the damn football.
Take it easy, man. All right. We got, let's see here, Eric Flynn. How you doing?
What's up, Jake?
How's it going, Eric?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. You say whatever you want to say.
I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, man. Hey, man, it's been 20 years since we saw Mark Bulger throw the same shot to Sean McDonald. We saw that today with the Stafford to Demarcus Robinson. What do you think about that?
It's 20 years to the day?
Pretty much.
Oh, my God.
So, because they were talking about it before the game. No, I've been a Rams fan since they were in St. Louis, and so I'm sure we've talked about that. But, yeah, what a game. I'm sure a lot of fans can agree. I actually expected the Rams to win this game, to be honest with you, because the way we played against the Vikings and the way how Coach Flores coaches, he runs a lot of cover zero, a lot of dime, because he brings it from New England, and we just brought it today. And, I am a little disappointed.
Eric, you cut out. Oh, no. I wanted to hear why he was disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Then it just cut out. I was like, oh, no.
Okay, you there?
Oh, he's back. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't hear anything you said after I'm a little disappointed. It totally cut out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry. I was just a little disappointed in some of the play calls we had, but you got to give it up to the Rams O-line. They allowed no sacks today, especially in that heavy environment out there in Seattle.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I got to give it to the Rams on that one for sure. Got to give it shout out to Coach Wimby. That's all I got to say. Coach Wendell.
He's great.
So he's a great guy. But yeah, man, I'm really feeling these 3 wins right now. I don't know if I can sleep tonight. That's how good. If we would have lost today, I probably would have been really upset with the Rams today. But they pulled it out on the road and they did it, man. I'm happy. What do you think?
Oh, I think this team, and I mean, I said it coming out of the bye, this team's about to go on a run. Winning this type of game can jolt your run even further because it kind of gives you this feeling that you're invincible. And sometimes that's a good feeling to have. You don't want to be ignorant to the fact you can lose, but you do want to feel invincible in a way that, like, hey, no one can beat us. Even when we don't play our best, we have enough to overcome it. I think that's a big deal. And so that's what I would take away from this game is that it really started to feel like the Rams were kind of that, they're in that playoff format. They're kind of that playoff team. They came back from 10 down at half, did not bat an eye, and they really controlled the rest of this game. I mean, just really impressed overall. And, they drafted extremely well once again. Shocker. They did it well last year. And
shout out Leslie.
Yeah. And, I don't think it's talked about nearly enough. We talk about Donald, we talk about these guys, but I don't think many teams in this league, if they lost a guy of Aaron Donald's caliber, would be in the position that the Rams are in right now. So I do want to give them credit in that regard because I'll tell you right now, I have this stat in front of me, and it's pretty wild. I mean, you talk about this, the Rams rookies alone have 7 sacks and 6 interceptions on the year. Both of those lead the NFL, according to Sarah Barshop of ESPN.
That's insane.
Last year, Rams rookies had 19 sacks, which also led the NFL. So you're talking about back-to-back years, Rams rookies leading the NFL in sacks and potentially now interceptions. A team that really was struggling to get turnovers is now all of a sudden taking the ball away at will. I mean, how many interceptions was that? There was 3 today, 4 takeaways against the Raiders.
One pick six. I was kind of lenient. I was very like, what's Chris Schola doing after the first couple weeks? and I think he's finally caught his groove. I feel like him and his staff finally sat down and said, "Hey, we got to figure this thing out, or otherwise our season's toast."
Yeah.
And he's done a great job in these 3 games, and I want to give it credit to him. I'm seeing a lot more dime packages. I'm seeing a lot more blitzing. And I love that. I love an aggressive defensive coordinator, and one defensive coordinator that we had that was really good at doing that. And I understand, he gets a lot of flaw, a lot of hit for what he did with the Chargers, but that was Brandon Staley, and we had the best defense in the NFL that year. And had we, Goff not had gotten injured, I think we probably would have went to the Super Bowl that year, and
oh yeah,
that's what that's what I'm seeing. And, one last thing before you let me go, I got to say it, man, give it to the defensive line. I mean, I've said it since Jared Verse has came out of the draft, and along with Byron Young. Byron Young reminds me a lot of a very young Willie McGinnis, and a lot of people have agreed with me. Even Patriot fans have agreed with that. So
I like that.
I love it because
Yeah.
he reminds me a lot of him. And I think Verse is just Jared Verse. He's just a monster. That dude's incredible. So same thing with Fisk and Kobe Turner. So, but Jake, it's a pleasure, man. I'll let you get back to it. I know there's other people waiting, man. Honor. I know I've been sending you private messages on Instagram, but it's fun. It's great to finally talk with you.
Hey, likewise, Eric. And sorry if I don't get back to you as quick. I get a lot of messages. I did not,
man. I get it.
I did not expect to get this many messages, man. I did not expect to grow this quickly. It's all thanks to people like you that watch, listen, and then share. So,
oh man, you're great at what you do, man. You know your football, so that's why I follow your page. So
I try, but
yeah. All right, man. We'll
appreciate
talk
you, man.
soon.
Absolutely.
All right, bud. Bye.
All right, take care. All right, we got 3 more. We're going to do Mo Mitch, Moon, and Seabass, and then I'm going to probably log off, and I'll actually, if you guys are starving for more content, I'll post my immediate reaction that I did on Bleacher Report after, so stay tuned for that. And then I have my what the hell am I saying? There's no draft content. No. We're not doing draft content. They're 4 and 4. Trade deadline. Gonna have the trade deadline content tomorrow, releasing hopefully in the morning. It's gonna be right now. It's gonna be targets that I think the Rams are gonna go after, or not that I think they're gonna go after. Targets that I think they should go after. I think they should consider fits, right? So I'm gonna get into that. Not now, but stay tuned. That's coming out tomorrow. And then maybe some isolated videos on the defensive turnaround, all of that. You know the drill. You follow this channel long enough. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I know there's quite a few people that watch my stuff but haven't subscribed. So definitely hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. Also, the thumbs up button is totally free. If you hit the thumbs up button, also known as the like button, well, you're telling YouTube that you really like this and you think they should recommend it. So definitely be sure to do that. And also check out today's sponsor, PrizePicks. JK Bogan gets you $50 added onto your account when you sign up. $5 lineup, whether you win or lose. You get $50 just to put my name in the promo code section and place a $5 lineup. That's simple. All right. Mo Mitch, it's been a little bit. I mean, I think we talked like last time, but it feels, and maybe you'll agree with me here, it feels like that Vikings game was 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's just me, but that's how it feels. How's it going, Mo Mitch?
Yo, what's up, Jake?
Well, I would say not much because that's always kind of a fun way to just talk, but a lot is going on. The World Series happened. I'm over that. I now have to get ready for the off season, and I got Rams football. They're now on a 3-game win streak, so good things are coming.
Yeah. Sorry about your Yankees, man. My dad's a huge Yankees fan. Baseball was his main sport.
And
he lives in Houston. He came over this week to see the grandbabies, and we got to watch Game 4 together, and great night for him. But he was over my uncle's house, his brother, for their Game 5. And I'm kind of happy I wasn't there to see them both sad.
Oh, yeah.
They both need to go to teams. Giants, Yankees are all New York. Knicks, they're all New York.
It's tough, man, but you know what? I found, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well in the comment section, because I see, wow, Jake is a really good sports therapist. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. But I mean, you guys know the 5-12 2022 season. I was here after every single game, live streaming, win or lose, most likely loss because they lost 12 times. And it's just, losing builds character. I say that all the time. And having a losing team like the St. Louis SoSar Rams, that was a very good test that I had to go through. Knowing every single Sunday they lost, I was going to go into school on Monday and get bullied. I was like, okay, and over time, like the Yankees show I do, we did a 3-hour live stream after they lost. So I'm over it, But man,
dude.
How about tonight?
Yeah. No, you're right, dude. And people, us going through that losing season and kind of, I've been a Rams fan in St. Louis, so before McVay got here, it was always losing. I mean, Jeff Fisher got us the 500 club, and even today, I feel disrespected as a Rams fan. I went out and there was a guy that was talking to a Redskins Cowboys fan. Who's your team? I'm like, the Rams. I know I'm rare in the East Coast. He's like, oh, Rams, I feel sorry for you. I'm like, you're a Cowboys fan. You feel sorry for me.
I know.
The last team that can say they won the Super Bowl besides the Chiefs is us. We won the Super Bowl and they've gone back to back. So that's a fact I always like to throw in people's faces. Like, what's your organization doing? But
I know they haven't won. They haven't gotten past the divisional round since I was born.
Right, exactly, man. But speaking on this game, I'll just give one bad point and one good point. To me, the bad point is obvious, as many people said today, was the offense. And if we did lose this game, I would still be talking to you. And this would be another classic Jake. McVay didn't run the ball enough. Because in the first half, he had Kyron had 6 carries. I don't know if he had any receptions. He only ended the game with 1 reception today. And then he had he finished with 22 carries. So then he had 16 for the rest of the game. And that's what he needed to do. Even Jonathan Vilma, I know these guys need to know their ball. Vilma's respected long air, but he said that the way the Rams are going to come back in this half is running the ball. And that first drive, that was all. Instead of just going in the gap, they started going outside, those tall stretches, working the edges on them, and it worked. And Matthew didn't have his best game. There's one particular throw, that catch by Tyler Johnson at the end, when he cuts the guy off. Because if the cornerback attacks the football like you're supposed to, he was waiting for that ball to come. It would have been a pick. Tyler Johnson crosses his face, makes a great catch.
That was crazy.
I mean, Stafford finished the game strong, 11, but it was just one of those games where I was like, he's off. Because when he throws a deep ball, I'm getting up. I'm like, it's about to get good. But today when he threw a deep ball, I was like, I'm scared. It was because it was he had the drop interception by Byron. One of the Seahawks dropped another interception. I mean, it was scary today. And you talked about it with the Njoku trade. We do need a tight end because I'm tired of seeing him try tight ends in the red zone, and it's just like an ugly, horrendous play. They're not even playing offense; they're playing defense. So you're absolutely right about that. But of course, the good point is this young defense, man. And you make the point to say it's filled with nothing but first and second year guys who are just gonna grow together. Like, this D line is insane. I cannot believe how good they are. And you lose a first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
It is crazy to me, man. Fish showed out today. All the people who said what a stretch to go trade up for him today, they're eating crow after watching this film. This dude was living in the backfield. And he should have had 3 sacks. He missed one. Gino ran right by him in one. I was I think he got held. And there was the one that Tyler Davis got where he blew up that play. That was a classic AD blew up the play and someone else cleaned it up. He was good. The back end still scares me because it felt like if those boys up front didn't get there, Gino was able to find people. I mean, Njoku had a career day. I mean, that kid was balling day, but it's all about the D line and me. The D line is the spearhead of the defense, and we still got players in the back who can make their picks, interception. You had a great call on Kitchens. You went a video earlier when you said this week when you said he wasn't ready. I was totally agree with you because it looked like that to me. But he proved us wrong today, man. He showed out today when he had his opportunity. And
Absolutely.
like you said, when we go through bad stuff, this team went through bad stuff. McVay going through that 5-12 season, I think he's way better for it. Because the way this team to me, they go into halftime and they actually make adjustments. They don't just come back and say, hey, that didn't work, but we're the Rams, we're going to make it work. No, he made an adjustment. He started to run the ball more, started to stretch it out. And it worked, man. I'm real excited because it reminds me of the run we had last year coming off the bye. And like you called it, like to me, getting that Vikings win Thursday night, especially getting this win, I didn't even know the Seahawks had a bye. And they wanted to get this win because coming in, I was a little scared. I thought we would win. I was a little scared, but people were kind of trashing the Seahawks a little bit. You know what I mean? It felt like too many people were hopping on our bandwagon already. I'm just like, all right, calm down. And they definitely came out today. I'll give credit. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Both defenses played good today. It just we had Matthew Stafford at the end of the day, Gino Smith, and they couldn't finish it. So I'm real happy that I get to talk to you for a win. Because like you said, man, you're at least my therapist when we lose. I'm gonna call you and talk about it.
No, I appreciate you, man. Yeah. No, I mean, I try to keep it. I try to keep it realistic. I think a lot of people just assume positivity means that you're a homer, but I'm talking about a team that has, been one of the best franchises in football since 2017. And that's the problem I have with that whole homerism and bias. It's like the Rams make it tough. I mean, this is a team that, aside from an injury-ridden 2022 season and a 2019 season that they missed the playoffs by one game and would have made it in the 7-team format, they've essentially been a consistent powerhouse. That's what they've been. They've been in 2 Super Bowls. A lot of teams would kill for that. The Cowboys would kill for a Super Bowl loss right now. They would. They've been
the best team in the NFC since McVay.
Yeah,
in
exactly. I think only the Saints have more wins in the NFC. And that, I think the Rams are going to pass them this year because the Saints have lost 7 straight games.
It's either them, it's either us or McVay. And then the Eagles had their moments with 2 Super Bowls, but those are the 3 teams I think about when I think about the NFC. Now you got the Lions coming up, sure, but
yeah.
As far as since McVay's been doing this, you can't say the top dog.
No, exactly. So I feel really good about this team. It's like I said, just because it's positivity doesn't mean that it's forced. I'm just, if I was worried about this team, I would let you know, but I was not worried about this team coming out of the bye, despite the loss to the Packers. I really felt like they were about to go on a run. They needed the bye. They didn't even get healthier coming out of the bye. Let's be honest here. They did not get anybody back, but I felt like they needed the bye to just take a beat. And in addition to that, the coaching staff take a little bit of a step back and look from a different lens and be like, okay, sometimes you could be too close to the game and you need just a step back and you can, find things that you were missing. And it wasn't a surprise. After the bye, Ahkello, Witherspoon's in the lineup. They got Darius Williams back, the week prior. They, realized that, okay, maybe this Josh Wallace kid has something and we should be playing him more. And that's what happened. Jalen McCullough gets an opportunity. He would not have had an opportunity if they didn't have that bye that early. That's what allowed them to go back, watch the tape, and be like, oh, yeah, McCullough should be playing right now. So now the toughest thing for them is they have to figure out a way to make all these guys happy with playing time. They're going to have to, make sure that they can get these guys in there, whether that's Kinchins, McCullough, Cam Curl, Quentin Lake, John Johnson when he comes back. It's a very good problem to have. It's one of the best safety rooms in football.
Even on the line, too, because we talked about after the 49ers game, we think T. Davis should be getting more snaps in.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
He was doing a great job with the rotation on the D-line, like you said, throwing the cheetah package.
Oh, I love it.
Everyone seems to get their turn to go hunt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you made one last thing. That was a great point. If anyone got Puka on their fantasy team, you start him next week because I guarantee he's going to go off because no one's madder at himself right now than Puka.
Oh, yeah. It's just like I compared it to Aaron Judge, and someone was like, "Why are we talking baseball? Are you new here?" Analogies are my thing. I've always done analogies. I've been doing them.
You don't see the jersey in the back behind the Witherspoon jersey.
Yeah, I always do analogies. I always mix football. I'll be doing my Yankee show, and I'll be talking about the Rams.
Yeah.
I'll always do analogies. I just think it's the best way to explain something, especially don't assume your entire audience knows everything, right? There are people that know a lot about the game. There are people that have never watched all 22. There are people that are just learning the game of football. The reality is there's a place for everybody in my community, and I want to talk as if it's reaching everybody. I don't want stuff to necessarily go over people's heads. It's why I don't get too much into the verbiage and what have you. I really just want this to be kind of, it's open for everyone. Everyone can have a spot here, whether you're a Rams fan or another fan of another team. If you enjoy football, understand there's going to be a heavy Rams, emphasis, but everyone is welcome here. So,
yeah, I mean, you're fair, dude. You're always fair. Good or the bad on team, you let it know.
Of course,
just like the Ernest Jones trade. Like that would have been tough if he actually came down with that pick. Oh, that would have been hard to see. It would have been justice, but it would have been hard to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, man, appreciate you. I got 2 more people, and then I'm going to wrap up the show, but appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for always, man, Jake. I'll catch your videos next time, man.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
You too.
All right. Kiki, thank you so much for the 5. Was at the game. What an experience. First game as well for me. Awesome. Love that. Let's keep it going. Love your work, Jake. Thank you so much, Kiki. I appreciate that. Happy that you got a chance to experience your first game. I actually am trying to remember my first game. I want to say my first NFL game was the Rams and the Patriots. And I think it's it's the second loss I've seen when I've gone to a game. It was Rams Patriots. Donnie Avery caught a touchdown right in front of me. It was in Foxborough, and it was Matt Castle. I've never seen Tom Brady in action, so it was Matt Castle versus Mark Bulger, and I'm pretty sure Steven Jackson was ruled out for the game. So, kind of a wild game. Rams played them really tough. They went down in the end, but that was my first game. I think that was 2009, I want to say, 2008, something like that. But that was my first NFL game. Then I went to pretty much all the MetLife games. If the Rams played in MetLife, I probably went to it. The Giants game, 51-17. The Giants game, 31, I think, to something. The one that Darrell Henderson caught 2 touchdowns, one over Tay Crowder, and then Jalen Ramsey had a pick 6 at the end of the half. The Jets 9-3 game, that was the most disgusting game ever. Johnny Hecker was the MVP of that one. That was the last win of Jeff Fisher era. Last year's Giants game, they almost blew, and then I'm going to the Jets game this year. At least I hope so. That's the plan. So, yeah, been to all the MetLife games. At the I've never been to SoFi, so this will be my first time, the Eagles game. But the Coliseum, I saw Sean McVay's second ever job coaching. They just beat the Colts 44-6. I saw him play at the time the Washington Redskins. They had every opportunity. That's the one where Todd Gurley jumps over the defensive back, like hurdles him, and then scores the touchdown. That happened right in front of me. My chair was like, basically my seats were right there. I watched it happen. It was awesome. Saw the Rams. It was Rodgers versus Goff. Corey Littleton, Aaron Donald went off in that game, but that came down to the wire because Ty Montgomery fumbled the kickoff and basically won the game for the Rams. And then 2019, I was in LA at the Coliseum, and that was the Saints game. And every Saints fan was like, we're going to win just like we did in the NFC title game. And I was like, well, you didn't win. So, I know you tried to get the Supreme Court to overturn it, but you didn't win. So, yeah, they were all chanting and everything, who dat, whatever. And then Cooper Kupp was like, oh, I'm him, and, broke like 4 tackles and almost had a touchdown. And that was the game that Drew Brees had his finger going the opposite direction. Teddy Bridgewater came in, and the Rams just controlled the entire game. But those are all the football games I've been to. If you include the Senior Bowl, I've been to the Reese's Senior Bowl 3 years, 2018, 2019, and 2020. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Enough stalling here. Moon, how's it going?
What's good, man? Can y'all hear me?
I got you. How you doing?
Bro, I'm blessed. I'm very happy today. Going in the Navy in a couple days, man, it's been tough.
Oh, wow.
It's been team. I'm tired of the slander, especially with McVay, this stupid trade with Stafford and Kupp. That's never gonna happen because they're goats. I'm tired of people disrespecting my boy Tutu.
I agree.
They gotta stop doing this with D-Rob. D-Rob is a goat too. I mean, that catch was just crazy, bro. Like, people need to stop thinking of him like he's a 5th string, bro. Like, that catch today was so freaking crazy, bro. Like, they need to put some respect on his name. But my only question for you today is, like, besides a tight end and a linebacker, like, seeing those corners, bro, today, I was very impressed. Like, seeing those corners today, bro, super impressed. I just hope that, like, we can get a good tight end, because if we get a good tight end, we're going to this playoffs and we're winning that Super Bowl, bro. I keep telling people.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, if you can get Njoku, that would be great. I don't think Hunter Henry's going to get traded, although I know the Patriots lost today. They were still trying to buy at the deadline. They might look at Hunter Henry as a long-term piece, which he's a great tight end. Then you have Evan Ingram. I don't like the contract in Jacksonville, but I think he would be available. So, it depends. I mean, I really wanted Colby Parkinson to be that guy, and I thought he could emerge, but he looked like he got benched today. And, he got benched in front of his former team.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, just seeing the tight ends, like, I miss Higbee so much. Like, he's such a dog. Like, I really think he's number 2 under Kelsey. I really think he's a dog. I really like Higbee. I hate that he's hurt. We're not going to really talk about Detroit Lions, cheap DBs, but, man, like, it's tough because just seeing this Rams team, bro, I was never stressed, even with going, losing those three games in the beginning of the season, even playing, getting the first one with the Niners and seeing the Raiders game, bro. I had no stress. Even seeing the Vikings game, watching them win that game, bro, I was like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. As long as we get a tight end and maybe like 1 or 2 more DBs, like, there's no reason why we don't go to the Super Bowl. I'm that confident. I never lost hope in the Rams. Like, I really think we're going to take it this year. I really think we can if we just get a really good tight end. But my 2 questions for you tonight is, like, Stafford's never going. I hope he never goes. But, like, what can we do to replace Bennett? Like, besides Garoppolo, like, what can we do to replace Bennett? And, like, give me, like, a super early mock draft. Like, because I really like Travis Hunter. I like him on both sides. And I feel like McVay, I tell this to my dad, diehard Raiders fan. I tell him, like, I really believe McVay, he acts like a college coach. That's why I love him so much, going for it on 4th downs in the first quarter. Like, McVay got balls, big balls. So it's like, I don't see why we don't, like, if we had a shit year this year, like, I don't see why we don't try to go for Travis Hunter this year and, like, make him play both sides. Because I know McVay would go for it. So I just wanted to know your thoughts, like, on an early mock draft and, like, what can we do to replace Bennett? Like, because Matthew Stafford, he's a dog, but, he's getting old. Like, that's just my opinion.
All right. So I got 513 people in here right now that are going to get an early access into tomorrow's video. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I think the Rams should pull out the stops and trade for Anthony Richardson tomorrow or Tuesday.
Are you that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Yep.
That would be crazy.
I think they should. 100%.
That's a crazy take. That's a crazy take.
If Anthony Richardson sat behind Matthew Stafford.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I keep trying to tell people.
I mean, he's got, and keep in mind, this is a guy that I've been very high on, and I understand it hasn't gone the way he wanted, right? And I know a lot of people are really high on Steichen. But I don't think, see, people just take a running quarterback or a guy that has that scrambling ability, and they compare him to another guy of that caliber. So what we get is, why can't Anthony Richardson do anything with Steichen when Jalen Hurts did something with Steichen? It's not always as simple as that. Jalen Hurts is a completely different player. He's not a running quarterback. He can take off and run. Anthony Richardson has 242 yards rushing. He's 5.9 yards per carry. He's a running quarterback, right? But here's the deal.
Correct.
Anthony Richardson has more potential than anybody in that draft. That he went, he still has that. That did not go away. In addition to that, remember, if you've been following the channel, I've said Cameron Kinchins doesn't seem ready, right? And obviously today was huge for him. But up until today, he didn't look ready to be on the field, right? That's what I kept saying. Well, Cameron Kinchins is 21 years old. Like, Braden Fisk is 25. Did you know that Bobby Brown is the youngest on that defensive line? He's in a contract year. You know?
It was stupid.
So
seeing how young this defense is, it's super, super scary. That's the only thing I was worried about. I was only worried about the secondary because of Johnson going out. Kobe Durant, shout out to him. Like, he's such a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so scared about the secondary. But seeing them today, like, now I'm 110% like, sure, we're going first in the division. There should be no reason why we don't beat them cheap ass Saints, them dirty ass playing Saints. Like, there should be no reason why we don't go Super Bowl. I really believe that. Like, if we really get a good DB or we fuck around and get Shador, like, there's no reason why we don't go to the Super Bowl next year. Like, I can't see it. Like, I really can't see why we don't. Unless, like, what happened this year with injuries. That's the only thing.
Well, like, okay, so I was bringing that up because, like, for instance, I think the cheat code, I think the Rams found the cheat code. It's very simple. They have a bunch of these guys on the defense. Jalen McCullough is 24 years old. He's an older rookie, right? Bobby Brown was one of the younger guys. So they draft younger guys, but they don't draft a lot of younger guys because they want these rookies now to be more than ready to play. Braden Fisk is going to be 25 in January. So that's the thing, is that Braden Fisk is going to be 25. Jared Verse is 23 currently. These are older guys. Jared Verse played ball right in my backyard at UAlbany. Not literally my backyard, but played at UAlbany. Transfers to FSU. Braden Fisk, he was at Western Michigan. He was at Western Michigan for 4 years before transferring over. He played 1 year at FSU. He transferred over from Western Michigan. He was at Western Michigan from 2019 to 2022 and played FSU in 2023. So really what I'm getting at here, why I think it's related to Anthony Richardson, is Anthony Richardson is 22 years old and just turned 22 in May. So he's wicked young, right? He just turned 22. His story's not written. You can't tell me for a second, looking at Gino Smith, and tell me that any quarterback story's written, you know? So that's why I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I've already said in the past that I thought the Rams should trade for should draft Anthony Richardson. That was before his stock went through the roof and all that. But yeah, Anthony Richardson, I am harassing the GM of the Indianapolis Colts. Chris Ballard is getting call after call after call because I want Anthony Richardson behind Matthew Stafford. And then when Stafford's done in 2 to 3 years, I got 24, 25-year-old Anthony Richardson who has 2 to 3 years of watching behind Matthew Stafford and being coached up by Sean McVay.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Something about Sean McVay and the Vols and FSU, people are not realizing how dangerous that is. He has something really special about that, and I really like that about McVay. Like the Ramley, like they try to underestimate us, but Sean McVay, I really believe, like you said, I really think he's a wizard when it comes to like these drafts, Brand. Like he is really a wizard, especially with FSU and these Vols. Man, he knows what he's doing with those guys, man. Because seeing the defense tonight, they went stupid, they went dumb. Very impressed.
They got great coaches all around. You got a wide receiver coach that can turn anybody into something, you know. The thing about, I think, tonight, and I'm going to get to Seabass here in a second, but the thing I think about tonight is that Puka Nacua gets tossed from the game, and this is a game where, once again, Jordan Whittington was banged up. So
Cool.
I really think Jordan Whittington can play a significant role in this offense when he comes back. And it's still all these guys that we need to find out ASAP what's going on with Havenstein. I've been trying to surf the web, see if I can find anything on Havenstein. It's been mum's the word, but that's a big, big thing there. If they could, as long as Havenstein's okay, I'm going to feel really good about that. So hopefully he is okay. We'll see what ends up happening, though.
Yeah, like Jake, love the content, bro. I love the wide receiver core. I'm not gonna lie, the only person I had doubts about was Johnson, but after watching him against that Lions game, especially when he did that like 60-yard reception, boy, I said, oh yeah. After maybe week 3 or 4, I was like, yeah, I hope we never replace any of the receivers with the Rams. The only thing I just really want is a tight end and maybe a good quarterback under Stafford for 3 to 4 years, and we need maybe one more DB, and we go to the Super Bowl, baby. Like I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, I think as long as they stay healthy, they'll be playing in the Super Bowl this year. They really need to stay healthy, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Staying healthy. I think we could do it. And especially with that call with Puka, I mean, I was trying not to pull my hair out. And that hit on D-Rob, that was dirty. It's not as bad as the Saints and Lions, but hey, I got respect for the Seahawks, but hey, they should have called it. But hey, it's football.
No, you're right. It is football. But hey, man, appreciate you calling in, and you know, we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. You know, have a good night.
You too. Take care, man.
Take care.
Seabass, you are the last guest on JE Live for this episode. How you doing? And thanks so much for waiting. If you're there. I don't know if you're there.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
First time on Discord. Oh, I'm chilling. Great fucking win.
Huge.
All I got to say, Rams fan, let's just, a win is a win. I couldn't lie. I almost threw the fuck up on my couch watching that first half. That was a disgrace. Seriously. I mean, other than that, we figured it out. I know Puka got hurt and we don't have Whittington. But, whatever. What the fuck was that game? Penalties aside, both ways. It was just horrible. But first off, just want to talk on a couple things. V8 Kingpin, that's his fucking name. If anyone knows anything about Spider-Man, Wilson Fisk.
Let's go.
Braden Fisk. Kingpin, that is his fucking nickname. That is so sick. Those are the best 2 rookies in the draft. I mean, the chemistry was already there. I mean, Sean McVay and Leslie, they know how to develop and draft players. Like, we are just fucking hitting on these rookies, these young guys, keeping them cheap. Let's go out and get a fucking tight end, and let's take care of this red zone issue. But, here's another point I want to make. As long as we have McVay calling the plays, I'm loving how he's switching it up, and Stafford slinging that fucking rock. We have a chance. I mean, all jokes aside, dude.
Yeah.
Stafford is a fucking dog, and no one gives him any respect on the main media. I mean, we could talk on and on and on. But, And then aside too, I want to give a little sprinkle a little bit about the special teams. I mean, our punter, whatever his name was, came in clutch today. I know like that one block punt, whatever, we got through it. I mean, the defense balled out, thank God. Our offense needs to figure it out. But respect to that punter for, coming in, holding kicks, extra points, everything looked good. Last thing, Ernest fucking Jones. I guess that's why we fucking traded his asses, because he can't catch a fucking easy interception. Troy Reader could have caught that bullshit. Oh my God.
My man's throwing strays over here.
I'm sorry, man.
No, don't be sorry. You're
Reader and Roseman are dog shit. I gotta be honest. Everyone knows it.
Hey, Roseman was good today, though.
Yeah, he did. He made some plays. I actually was really surprised. He didn't blatantly just dive at the ground. He actually wrapped up today. So I was proud of him. Who else? Xavier Smith hasn't fumbled a punt. He's been doing awesome.
Don't say that.
Love. Oh God, whatever. You jinx me now.
Yeah, I already knocked on
honestly,
wood for us.
I know, seriously, dude. Here, I'll knock on wood too. It's a win is a win. That puts us in great position for the division. I like our chances to win a couple games here. If our offense just has to show up. That's all. Let's just be realistic. Our defense is playing out of their fucking mind. If they're gonna create turnovers, there's no doubt in my mind that we can take this thing all the way.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I think that when you look at this team, they have gone through injury after injury, but the good news is, and the 49ers are going through this too, which is why I keep telling people, do not write off the 49ers. This is going to be a battle, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But the 49ers and Rams getting as banged up as they have, basically to this point, have now been forced to play players that weren't supposed to play. So Jalen McCullough now has 4 interceptions. That guy was not supposed to see the field this year, right? Cameron Kinchins has 2 interceptions, one of which is a pick 6. His confidence is going to go through the roof. I think he can build off it. He wasn't supposed to play as much this year. Then you look at Jordan Whittington. We've already seen what he's capable of. So it just goes to show you, and same thing with like Bo Limmer and Justin Diedick. These guys are getting crazy experience. I mean, live in-game reps during the regular season, nothing beats the real thing. Nothing.
Yeah, unreal.
So I think that kind of gives the Rams a leg up, and I know the Niners are going through it as well. So I think that's something that I'm looking at. They now have an upgraded sense of depth where they have a lot of rookies that have now seen and have been in and have been asked to contribute in some huge games. So I think it's a big deal. And again, live reps, situational football, nothing beats it. We'll see if they can keep this thing going. But you have to like the way you end a game. It's a big deal. Momentum is real. I do think they carry that into the next game. Just the way they won this one. I think they're an absolute freight train right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's insane, man. I mean, I also got to give you some shit. Vamos Dodgers, let's go. Freddie Freeman has a fucking massive, man. Fuck me.
Hey, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm happy.
LA, we up.
I'm happy for him because he went through hell this year. I'm not ignorant to that fact. And just the fact that he was able to come back. I watched him a little bit in the Mets series, and he looked gone. So the fact that he was able to get ready, I know he had that time off before the World Series, but that was insane. I have no doubt in my mind that if they needed a home run out of him, he probably could have hit another home run in Game 5. And I have no doubt in my mind that he probably would have hit another home run in Game 6 or Game 7. Some guys, they just step up and they're just different, and he's just different. He really is. So I give him a lot of credit. I
also just want that LA championship mentality, that little sprinkle from the Dodgers right over is going to sprinkle onto the Rams. That's what I'm
hoping
for.
So. I want to get something honestly, out of it, man.
Does that exactly? Come on, that's got to give us some extra little momentum. Man. LA is ready, dude. But actually, you got to go to SoFi. I just went 2 weeks ago to the Raiders. It was a okay game. It was some defensive stops and stuff, but First time at SoFi, great experience, I gotta say.
Awesome. Are you going to the Eagles game?
I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. I mean, what are tickets looking like?
I don't know, but I will be there. So.
Oh, okay. Honestly, all right. I'll look into it then.
Yeah, I'd love to meet you in person, but.
Yeah, definitely. I got my Todd Gurley jersey on, man. I'm fucking ready, dude. I haven't taken it off.
Oh man,
yeah.
I might have to wear.
Thing is so clean.
I might have to wear a jersey that's kind of out there, so people know who I am. And I'm not gonna wear a custom jersey, but like maybe rock like a, I don't know, rock like a Corey Littleton or John Franklin Myers.
Ooh,
that way you know. Everyone knows, okay, that's
true.
Jake. Yeah, he's rocking the John Franklin Myers jersey. Dude is literally he's been on 2 teams since, but yeah. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll rock like a Downtown Rams hat. Who knows? But I'll keep you guys posted on my fit just because I don't care how it looks. This is more so you guys can find me, people that want to actually do that. So, yeah, Seabass, appreciate you calling in. Definitely keep doing
bro,
so.
Appreciate you.
It was nice talking with you.
Yeah, first time. I'm definitely coming back after we get the dub against Miami. Let's go. Fucking horns up.
Hell yeah.
All right, peace.
Appreciate you, man. All right, guys. Once again, shout out to all of our call-ins. Appreciate you guys. Man, this is fun. This is a job, and I have to, obviously let you guys know that this is a job, okay? This is my livelihood, essentially. This is how I make ends meet. Being a creator, being an entertainer, analyst, fanalist, whatever you want to call it. But I am so lucky because, same thing, good and the bad, whatever. I still enjoy talking about losses, but I really enjoy talking about wins. And I really enjoy talking about wins that happened on a walk-off setting. To see the Rams have a walk-off touchdown against Seattle, you have to understand what that does for a team. That can kill a team. So Seattle, on the other hand, could die now. They could absolutely fall off. That could be their season if they're not careful. They do have a bye. Strategically, they do have a bye, so they could come back. But not ideal, right? And on the flip side of that, the Rams could. They're already on a really good run. I think they can really build off this. Fun fact: the Rams have a 552 strength of schedule, so this isn't easy. Nothing they're doing is easy. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They have a harder strength of schedule than every team in the NFC except the New York Giants, who are 2-7, right? Then you have the 643 strength of schedule Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 4-4. Got to give them a lot of props there. The 554 Green Bay Packers, so by 2 points. And then you have the 613 Arizona Cardinals, who have had to earn that 5-4 record in a big way. And that's it. So the only teams that have a tougher strength of schedule, barely the Packers, the Cardinals, the Buccaneers, and the Giants. Okay? There you go. The Philadelphia Eagles, who the Rams play in 3 weeks, they have a 394 strength of schedule. 394. Nico, appreciate you. Love you, Jake. Let's get that 4 times win next week. Yes. Keep it coming. I'm telling you right now, this team can continue to win. They are right now the 10th seed in the NFC. They're 4-4. They do not have the tiebreaker against the Bears, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the tiebreaker because of... So I'm reading here, win percentage in conference games. The Rams are 3-4. The Bucs are 4-2. Okay? So right now the Rams are the 10th seed. But understand this. The Buccaneers have to play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football in Kansas City without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So they're going to lose that game, most likely. They're 4-5. The Rams move up to the 9th seed, right? The Bears, well, all of a sudden, the Bears just went from a 3-game win streak, one of which the Rams were not in a great place. They beat the Panthers, who aren't very good, in a blowout, and they beat the Jaguars, who are now 2-7. Their season's over, in a blowout. They played the Washington Commanders on the road, really tough game, 18-15. They lose on a Hail Mary, and guess what? They followed it up. They went to Arizona, and they got shit rocked by 20 points. I'm not scared of the Bears. I'm annoyed the Rams lost that game that they absolutely should have won. They dominated them. They should have won the game. They blew it. But the Bears still have to play. And obviously, they should beat the Patriots next week. But they still have to play the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, the 49ers, the Vikings, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Packers. The Bears, if they make it, are going to have to earn it. So let's just be honest with ourselves, okay? When you look at the standings, right now the Rams are the 10 seed at 4-4. They should be the 9 seed after the Monday Night Football game. The Bears are not sticking around. If the Rams keep taking care of business, the Bears are going to fall off. The Rams will be right in the driver's seat to be that 8th seed. Only 7 seeds make it, right? Well, the Rams can swoop in and win the division anyway, right? But Green Bay, they lost a 10-point game to the Lions. They got the Bears. They got the Niners. They got the Lions on the schedule again. They have the Vikings again. They have the Bears again. This Packers team, which again, really frustrating, the Rams lost that game, but this Packers team is going to have to earn it too. They're going to have to. So you look at the Rams, they're going to have to earn it. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but the next 2 games are against New England and Miami. Miami is playing for their season. New England's probably in the dumpster at this point. They should win both games. The Rams should be at 6-4. I'm going to say Arizona, who's currently at 5-4. I kind of feel like that renewed Jets team next week is going to come to play. It's in Arizona, but I kind of feel like the Jets are going to win that game. Then you have Seattle. You have the Vikings, Seattle. Then you have the Patriots, Panthers. Those should be easier wins. Arizona is pretty much locked up. They're winning at least 7 games. Okay? They're probably winning at least 8 games. They got the Rams and Niners to end their season. Arizona is going to have to earn it. They have played a tough schedule. Are they up for the task? We'll see. That was a huge win against the Bears today, but then you look at the 49ers. The 49ers, they have the bye week, and then they're playing the Buccaneers. They're playing Seattle. They're playing the Packers, the Bills, the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Cardinals. There is not one game there where you're playing a bad team. Nothing about that is a pushover. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So the 49ers are going to be in the picture. The Rams still have a tough schedule. Just because they're playing the Dolphins, that game is not a guarantee. Let's not just give them the win. They have to earn it. The Dolphins are playing for their season. The Patriots, Foxborough, okay? That is a November game. Who knows if that has snowy weather? That could be a little, whatever. The Eagles, they don't play well against the Eagles. I do think they're going to win. They don't play well against the Eagles. Then they have the Saints. This Saints game just kind of changed. It's amazing how earlier in the year, like, oh shit, that Saints game is going to be really tough. And now they've lost 7 straight. So that Saints game now became a little bit easier for the Rams. Then you have the Bills. That's a tough game. Luckily, it's at SoFi Stadium. By the way, the Bills fans travel very well, so that's going to be a tough one. Then you have the 49ers on Thursday Night Football. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to beat them again. That could very well be for the division. You might have to go to San Francisco and sweep them. Then you have the Jets at MetLife Stadium. That is a stadium that you have owned and dominated, I think, the last 5 or 6 meetings. Let's see. Jets, Giants. Well, Jets. I don't know. They've won the last 3 for sure. I think it's 5, but I'd have to go back and check. Anyway, point being, they have the Jets, right? Then they have the Cardinals and the Seahawks to wrap it up. Both of which are at SoFi Stadium. So the Rams finish out their season. It was tough. It is tough. The Rams started out their season with 3 of their first 4 games on the road. They lost all 3 of those games. They just won their first road game. Get that monkey off their back. And then to end the season, they have 2 home games. So that's going to be interesting. On a short week after playing Buffalo to play the 49ers, that could be tough. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to make this prediction. Rams are 4-4. I think they beat the Dolphins, go 5-4. I think they beat the Patriots, go 6-4. Eagles 7-4. Saints 8-4. I think they dropped the Bills game, 8-5. I think they're going to drop the 49ers game. Everyone's going to panic, 8-6. They beat the Jets 9-6. Cardinals 10-6. Seahawks 11-6. The only 2 teams they lose to the rest of the year are the Bills and 49ers. Reason being, the Bills have just had their number for whatever. That's just one of those teams. They go to SoFi. They travel well across country for whatever reason. They win that game. Then the 49er game is on a short week after playing a physical Bills team. The 49ers in that game, they are coming off playing the Bears. They are at home. They stay at home. The Rams are at home. They don't have to go that far to Santa Clara. But I'm going to I do think they beat Philly. Philly has played a below 400 schedule. I've never even heard of that. Below 400. I think Philly is kind of just there. Like, they're a good team, but they're not a great team. I could be wrong. But I look at that Philly team right now, and I see their schedule. And I see that win over the Packers, which felt like a really important win. Then they lose a close game to the Falcons, and they barely beat the Saints. The Saints now aren't very good. They get dominated by the Buccaneers. They barely beat the Browns. They dominate the Giants, who aren't good. They dominate the Bengals, who are just kind of eh. And then they beat the Jaguars and almost blew that game. So the Eagles, they got to prove it to me. They're going to have to prove it. They have not played the Commanders yet, who are a 7-win team right now. They're going to Dallas next week. Desperate Dallas team, 3-5, trying to save their season, have not won a game at home. Eagles are 3-1 on the road. We'll see how that goes. Eagles are 6-2. But their 6 wins, only one of them is above 500. And that's the Packers. Against above 500 teams, they are 1-2. To be fair. So I'm not trying to take anything away from Philly, but Philly has to prove it. Cowboys in Dallas, not an easy place to play. I know they've been kind of asked this year, but not an easy place to play regardless, although the Cowboys could be done. Commanders, that's going to be a primetime game. The back-to-back primetime games, you got the Commanders, then I think that's on a short week too. So yeah, Thursday Night Football against the Commanders, and then you have to go and play the Rams in primetime on Sunday Night Football. So they do get a mini bye week in between there, to be fair. But it's going to be at SoFi Stadium. Then they're at the Ravens. They got the Panthers. That's an easier win. The Steelers should be an interesting game. They got the Commanders again, the Cowboys, and the Giants. If I'm looking at the Eagles right now, I think they beat the Cowboys. They'll go 7-2. They'll lose to the Commanders, 7-3. They'll lose to the Rams, 7-4. They'll lose to the Ravens, 7-5. They'll beat the Panthers, 8-5. They'll beat the Steelers, 9-5. I'll say they'll lose to the Commanders, 9-6. They'll beat the Cowboys, 10-6, and they'll beat the Giants, 11-6. So again, 11-6 Eagles, 11-6 Rams. That's how I see it. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think far too often we do this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, the Eagles are 6-2, like they're gonna be really hard. But go back. This is a resume. I understand it's hard to win the NFL. I am not trying to discredit a win in the NFL, but it is okay to look through who they've played. The Commanders, to be fair, right? And I like the Commanders. I picked them to be a sleeper team this year. They were my number 1 sleeper team. They have played against how many above 500 teams? Let's see. The Bears are not above 500, although they played them at the time, to be fair. Above 500 teams, Ravens, Cardinals, Buccaneers. They are 2-1 against those teams. They destroyed the Cardinals. They lost to the Ravens on the road, and they got beaten by the Bucs by 17. So, again, it's always important to look at the resume. Like the Detroit Lions are playing a above 500 strength of schedule. Here are their above 500 teams, though. Vikings, Packers, Cardinals, Bucs. Right? All right. Well, the Bucs are 500, so you can include the Rams in that. So the Lions are 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. The Lions are 4-1 against 500 or above teams. Right? So, I mean, that's like really good. Battle tested. So that's how I look at it. There's not one team aside from, I would say, the Lions, because I think they're playing a really good brand of football. To be fair, I think without Aiden Hutchinson, though, I do think the Rams can beat them. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. Now, they have to go out and prove it, but I really think that they're the best team in the NFC. I need to see a team beat them, during this win streak, but I think they're going to beat the Dolphins. So how long does this streak go? I have them winning 4, 5, 6, 7 straight. So I have them winning 7 straight out of the bye and losing 2 to the Bills and 49ers, and then winning 3 to end the season. And actually, screw it. Let's do this. Let's do playoff predictors here. Just because I feel like it. People are like, you're going overtime? Yeah, Frank. I'm going overtime. All right, let's do it. So, man, is there any way I can show this? That'd be cool. That would be really cool if I could show this. Okay, let's see if I can show this. You know what? I don't think I'll be able to show it because it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's not working. Oh, well. I'm still going to do it, though. All right, chat. I'm going to predict the rest of the year. Let's do it. You ready? I'm going to predict the rest of the season. So we got Chiefs over the Bucks. Let's see here. Does it have the Colts already? Okay, it does. All right. So yeah, the Vikings won. All right. Now, week 10. I'm going to take the Rams over the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. All right, chat. Type in NFL, NFC. Well, not AFC, but type in NFL or NFC, depending on if you want me to just do the NFC playoff predictions or you want me to do the full NFL. Let's see. NFC. Okay, sounds good. So we'll keep it NFC. Let's see here. So we got the 49ers and Bucks. I'm going to take the Niners there. They got that bye coming off that bye. 49ers. Bucks are not fully healthy, whatever. Eagles, Dallas. I'm going to take the Eagles. Falcons, Saints. I'll take the Falcons. I'll take the Giants over the Panthers. I'll take the Jets over the Cardinals coming off that mini bye. I'll take the Vikings over Jacksonville. Washington over the Steelers. Bears over the Patriots. I could totally see the Patriots winning that game. That just feels like a game that the Patriots would steal. But anyway, that's what I have there. Coming off the mini bye week, I'm going to take the Texans over the Lions in kind of like a surprise, I guess. I don't know. I like the Texans. I think that Jets game, anybody who's going to lose to the Jets, they were a desperate team. That's a talented team at that. So there is what it is. Okay. With that week, the Rams are now in first place at 5-4 in the NFC West. Rams over the Patriots, Lions over the Jaguars, Falcons over the Broncos. I'm going to say the Texans over the Cowboys. I'm going to say that's the AFC. Okay. Let's see. Saints lose to the Browns. I might take the Saints over the Browns. Vikings over the Titans, Washington over the Eagles, 49ers over Seattle. Seattle coming off a bye. I still don't like them in San Francisco. Packers coming off a bye, beating the Bears on the road. So now week 12 here, Rams and 49ers are tied at 6-4. Rams have the tiebreaker. Week 12, Rams upset over the Eagles. They don't play the Eagles well, but they're at home. The Eagles are coming off a mini bye, but I think the Rams can capitalize and win their, is that 6 straight? I think it's 6 straight. Anyway. Let's see. NFC. Okay, Colts and Lions. I'll take the Lions. I'll take the Chiefs over the Panthers. I'll take the Bucks over the Giants. The Bears, I'm going to take at home against the Vikings. That'll be a close game, though. Washington on a mini bye. I'm going to take them over the Cowboys. Really not high on the Cowboys, guys. I'm sorry. So the Cardinals off a bye against Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle in that one. Desperate team. I think they get a win. 49ers over the Packers. I'm going to take the Packers at Lambeau. It's also in late November. That could very well end up being a wintry game. That remains to be seen. Week 13. Let's see. I got the Rams over the Saints to put them at 8-4. That would make them the 4 seed currently, and of course the top team in the NFC West. The 49ers lose to the Bills. Bills coming off a bye. 49ers are 6-6 there. The Vikings beat the Cardinals in Minnesota. The Bucks beat the Panthers. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants. The Lions beat the Bears. Packers beat the Dolphins. Falcons beat the Chargers. Jets beat Seattle. Washington beats the Titans. Ravens beat the Eagles. And that is it for the NFC. Okay. Moving on to week 14. The Rams lose to the Bills, so they're at 8-5. 49ers beat the Bears. Bears coming off a mini bye. Still think the 49ers win. 7-6 there. Taper, thank you so much for joining, becoming a follower on the Kick channel. Okay. Cardinals over Seattle. I'm going to say they split the season series. Cardinals at 6-7, Seattle at 5-8, 49ers at 7-6, and the Rams at 8-5 through week 14. The Eagles beat the Panthers. The Giants beat the Saints coming off a mini bye. The Vikings lose to the Falcons. And I'm going to say the Lions sweep the season series. Both teams coming off a mini bye. I'll take the Lions over the Packers. I'll take Dallas over the Bengals there. Buccaneers over the Raiders, and that is that for that week. All right, week 15, no more buys. Let's get this thing going. So we got, let's see here. The Giants losing to the Ravens, the Buccaneers losing to the Chargers, the Cardinals beating the Patriots, the Lions beating the Bills, the Eagles beating the Steelers. I think the Steelers could win that game, but I'm going to take the Eagles. Falcons over the Raiders, the Vikings over the Bears. Seattle wins an upset over the Packers on the road, or Seattle at home. The 49ers beat the Rams. And then I'm going to have Washington beating the Saints. The Cowboys losing to the Panthers. We go into week 16 here. The Rams and 40. So now the 49ers have the tiebreaker there at 8-6 over the Rams, right? So now it gets a little bit tight. Rams beat the Jets. 49ers beat the Dolphins. Let's see here. We go, where is it? Are these all AFC? Okay, there we go. Bears beat the Lions. Washington. I'm going to say Philly beats Washington there. And let's say here, okay, Packers are going to beat the Saints. Bucks beat Dallas. Seattle upsets the Vikings. Cardinals beat the Panthers. Week 17, okay? This is where it's big. The Rams beat the Cardinals. The 49ers lose to the Lions. So the Rams take over the number 1 seed in the NFC West. The Eagles beat the Cowboys. The Bucks beat the Panthers. The Vikings beat the Packers. Oh, no, I think the Packers win. So I'm going to take the Packers over the Vikings. Washington beats I'm going to say the Falcons win that game. Okay, Washington loses. They're 12-4. Okay. Seattle and Chicago. Both teams really need a win. I'm going to take Chicago. They're at home. Seattle goes to 7-9, kind of around where I expected them to be, like that 8-9, 7-10 team. Rams beat the Cardinals. I think I already said that. Saints beat the Raiders. Not like that matters. Colts beat the Giants. I think that's it for the NFC. Yes. Okay. So now we got week 18. This is the final week. Who is going to make the playoffs in the NFC? Well, I got the Rams over the Seattle Seahawks to finish at 11-6. I have the 49ers beating the Cardinals in Arizona to finish 10-7. They have to wait, though, on how these outcomes work out. Washington ends up sitting their starters and losing to Dallas since they've already clinched the playoffs. The Eagles beat the Giants. Oh, excuse me, they wouldn't do that because they could actually lose the division spot. So I think Washington wins that. They go 13-4. Eagles are going to go 12-5. So I think I said 11-6. I gave them 12-5 in this. Lions beat the Vikings here. So the Vikings finished 10-7. Falcons beat the Panthers. And I'm definitely missing a Falcons one, so I'll have to go back and find that. Bucks beat the Saints. Packers beat the Bears. This is where it becomes interesting now. I got to go find the Falcons one. So let's see here. Oh, Falcons over the Giants. Okay. So, wild card round. Rams, Eagles rematch in the first round of the playoffs. I'm going to take the Rams at home. I'm going to take Washington over Green Bay. I think Dan Quinn and his veteran leadership, I think will bring him over the top. So I'm going to take Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders. I'm going to take the Lions over the Bucks. I don't know how it worked out, but the Falcons ended up with the number 1 seed. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work out. Let me fix this because they're going to lose a game or two. Yeah, they'll lose to the Vikings. And they'll... Where are the Falcons? The hell? Oh, they'll lose to the Chargers too. Okay. Balance the way all things should be. Okay. Rams beat the Eagles. Falcons play the Packers. I'm going to take... Ooh, this is tough. I'm going to take the Packers in this one. But I think it's close, but I'm going to take the Packers. I think they win. And then I'm going to take the Commanders over the Vikings. And then in the NFC divisional round, I'm going to take the Rams on the road against the Commanders. The Lions over the Packers. And I'm going to take the Rams over the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. There you go. That's my NFC prediction. It was destined from the start. The Rams will beat the Lions in the NFC title game. As long as they stay healthy and things go the way they look like they're going, the Rams will beat the Lions in the NFC title game to go to the Super Bowl as long as they stay healthy. They're going to lose 2 games the rest of the year if they continue on the path that they're on. NFC playoff predictions. I got the Lions finishing as the number 1 seed. Washington is the number 2. Falcons is the number 3. Rams is the number 4. Eagles is the 5. Packers is the 6. Vikings is the 7. So that means the 49ers missed the playoffs at 10-7. The Bucks missed the playoffs at 10-7. And then you have the Bears and Cardinals at 8-9 missing the playoffs. I predict the Rams to win 11 games. So they go 11-6. They lose the Bucks. They lose the Bills and the 49er game. That's what I expect. But that's going to do it. I mean, they probably will, but this is just how it came out math-wise. They very well could. The NFC West, though, is probably going to be one team, if I'm being honest with you. A lot of these teams won games early on in the season they weren't expected to win. It's going to make it tough. There's not a lot of losable games for a lot of these NFC North teams. There's just not. So, yeah, that's how I have it. You know, Lions win 14, Packers win 12, Vikings win 11. This is with the Rams losing to the 49ers in that week, was it 15? Yeah, week 15 Thursday night game. So if they win that game, the Rams are 1,000% going to win the division. It's going to be tough for them to win the division and lose that game because the 49ers have a better conference record based on how I predicted it and everything. So, yeah, I feel very good about the Rams here. I think it's going to be Rams-Lions. But, yeah, Rams beat the Eagles. Packers beat the Falcons. Commanders beat the Vikings. Rams beat the Commanders. Lions beat the Packers. Rams beat the Lions. 4-seed Rams. I mean, what was it? Were they a 4-seed the last time when they won the Super Bowl? I got to look it up now. Yep, the last time the Rams won the Super Bowl, they were a 4-seed. They beat the 6-seeded San Francisco 49ers. Yep, it was the 4-seed versus the 4-seed. Oh, man. Oh, well, now I have to do the... it's only fair. I got to pick the AFC now. I fill in the blanks here, right? Who are they going to play? Right? Based on right now, who am I picking? I had the Texans before the season started. Well, I had the Chiefs first, then I switched to the Texans. Let's go. All right, Chiefs over the Broncos, Ravens over the Bengals. Well, Chargers over the Titans. I'm going to say the Colts beat the Bills. I think the Colts upset the Bills. No, I don't. I think the Bills are really good. I think the Bills are going to win. Okay, I think that's everything for that week, okay? So Dolphins over the Raiders, Jets over the Colts, Bills over the Chiefs, Bengals. I have the Chargers over the Bengals. Steelers over the Ravens. I'm going to say the Ravens win that off a mini bye. Yeah, I like that. Okay, week 12. You see it's going by somewhat fast. We already have all the ones the NFC played, so there's that filled in. Texans over the Titans, Steelers over the Browns, Dolphins over the Patriots, Raiders over the Broncos, and Ravens over the Chargers. Okay, week 13 here, Chiefs and Raiders. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Colts over the Patriots. I'm going to take the Bengals to beat the Steelers. Texans to beat the Jaguars. Broncos to beat the Browns. Okay, let's see how this is shaping up. Titans to beat the Jags, Steelers to beat the Browns, Jets to beat the Dolphins, Chiefs to beat the Chargers. Week 15, Texans over the Dolphins, Bengals over the Titans, Jets over the Jaguars, Browns upset the Chiefs, one of those late season games. Colts, Broncos, I'm going to take the Broncos there. Okay. Week 16, Ravens over the Steelers. I think the Ravens sweep the Steelers this year. I do. Chargers, and take the Chargers over the Broncos, the Raiders over the Jags, the Bills over the Patriots, the Colts over the Titans, the Texans losing to the Chiefs, Bengals over the Browns. And week 17, Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers defense over the Chiefs. It's going to be a close game, but I think they pull that off in Pittsburgh. That's a Wednesday night game. What the hell is going on? Oh, Christmas. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll take the Steelers, and I'm going to take the Texans over the Ravens. They're going to start to get healthier down the stretch, I think. Jaguars over the Titans, Bills over the Jets, Browns over the Dolphins, Patriots over the Chargers, Bengals over the Broncos, and the last week of the season to decide who makes my playoffs. We got Steelers over the Bengals. We got the Jets over the Dolphins. Bills over the Patriots, Ravens over the Browns, Colts over the Jaguars, Titans, I have the losing to the Texans, Chiefs over the Broncos, and Chargers over the Raiders, which means we have a wild card. Okay, we have a wild card here of the Ravens and Chargers. I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm going to take the Texans versus the Steelers. Russell Wilson, this is a tough one. I'm going to take the Texans here because CJ Stroud's already been in the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Texans. The Jets and Chiefs, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Okay. Chiefs and Texans, I'm going to take the Chiefs. They're going to be at Arrowhead. Bills and Ravens. Lamar Jackson is going to come through here. I think the deciding factor when you look at the postseason, can you run the football? Okay. The Lions can run the football. I have them going to the NFC title game and winning in the divisional round. The Rams can run the football. I have them going to the NFC title game and winning the NFC title game. The Chiefs, they can't. They'll get Isaiah Pacheco back, but they're going to I think they beat the Texans, but I think Mixon gives them a run. That'll be a close game. The Ravens are scary, man. The Bills can run the football. The Ravens can go in there and play spoiler. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson to go to the AFC title game is going to be fun to watch. So in the championship round, both road teams are going to the Super Bowl. That's right. I've changed my stance. I've watched Patrick Mahomes play football this year. He does not look very good. The Chiefs defense has carried. I don't think this is sustainable. I think the signs have been there. They both went through their shortcomings. But I think we are going to get a rematch of last year, what looked like a Super Bowl game. It's going to be the 4-seeded Rams, just like they played the 4-seeded Bengals. They're going to play the 4-seeded Ravens. So Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry. Defenses are good. A lot of pressure. A lot of star power. And I think the Rams beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. And this, of course, is if the Rams can stay healthy, obviously. So do not come back, take this video clip, and say, I told you so, if Matthew Stafford, God forbid, goes down. I will tell you right now, I think it's going to be Rams-Ravens. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Rams-Chiefs, but I feel like this is the year Lamar Jackson gets over the hump and gets to the Super Bowl. That's how I feel right now, in this moment. Picking all those games, I do. Terrence, I think the AFC is just very, very top-heavy, and it's anybody's game to get into the 6-7 seed. That's how I feel. So I think the Jets get in at 9-8 as the 7 seed. I still think the Jets get in. They had to beat the Texans. That was a gutsy performance. They needed that. They have a doable schedule. I think they get in. But yeah, last time the Rams were the 4 seed and played the 4 seed in the Super Bowl, they beat them. That was the Ravens, or not the Ravens. That was the Bengals. AFC North also. Rams get revenge on the Ravens from the punt return, and that is that. But I appreciate you guys. This has been a long throwback episode. This is what happens when they win the way they did. Really hard not to go live after that, and really hard not to bring the fire after that. 3:20. How long is the Irishman? Let's see here. So the Irishman watch time, the run time for the Irishman is 209 minutes. So that is, I can't do math. That's more than 3 hours, right? Yeah, that's more than 3 hours. Wait, was it 200 minutes on the dot? I totally blew that. 209 minutes. So that would be, okay, not longer than okay, we're not going to get that far. It's not longer than the Irishman. It is not longer than the Irishman, but it's close. Alex, there's no chance I am taking it from the top. Long story short, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe. Stay a while on the channel. I'm ending this stream. But if you enjoy this, hit the thumbs up button. Let YouTube know so they can recommend it. This is one of those throwback streams, folks. YouTube, Kick, appreciate you guys supporting. One of the throwback streams. I say it's throwback because we haven't done anything like the 3 hours. Although that's not true. I just did a 3-hour stream on the Yankees channel. But for the Rams stuff, you have to understand the origin was like 5-hour streams. People were like, Jake, how are you still live? Like you have 60 people in there. Give it up. We have 300. No, we're over 423 people currently watching right now. You guys are absolutely incredible. And that's why I continue to do it. Over 8,000 views. Man. Well, anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you. Oh my God, it's past midnight. So yeah, I streamed all night. I told you this is going to be a long stream. I told you, I warned you. I said, I'm going to bring it. We're going to be streaming all night. That's what I said. And I wanted to reward you guys because I go on Bleacher Report. That's also a job that I have. So I go on Bleacher Report after the show, and then it kind of puts, newcomers in a little bit of a weird position because they're like, wait a minute. So he's not live instantly after. But yeah, So love you too. So yeah, that's just that. And, I guess I'm decent at this. I didn't get a manual. I just kind of started, and you guys said it was good, so I just keep going. It's really that simple. Harleytron asks, so what's your go-to Taco Bell order? I just get loaded grillers. The Chipotle chicken loaded grillers. I don't go crazy. I don't really have Taco Bell very often, but if I go to Taco Bell, I'm getting 3 or 4 loaded grillers, Chipotle chicken. That's probably my go-to. But yeah. You guys have a great night. I am going to go get a lozenge and probably have some tea because my throat is gone. But tomorrow, keep an eye on it. We're going to have trade deadline conversation. We're going to have trade deadline content. I don't care what anyone says. Also, the reposting of my Bleacher Report live stream that you might have missed. I'm going to be posting that. It's about 18 minutes. It's a good watch if you're trying to kill some time. So I'll be posting that immediate reaction video, and I'll see you guys on the flip. Thank you guys as always for supporting. It doesn't go unnoticed. We had over $324 worth of super chats, so I never forget that stuff. Just understand that. Like, I remember who sends me super chats. I remember names. I see you, Brett from LA. See you all the time. Terrence Smith, Alex Marin, you know who you are. You know, there's like Jack 42. I see all of you. Chips, it is a Devils hat in the background. Yes, I'm a Devils and Golden Knights fan. But yeah, you know, we're gonna get to it tomorrow. Oh, you're Devils fan? Hell yeah, let's go. I need to go to a game at the Rock. It's been a minute. I haven't been in a while. Just like I need to golf, and I haven't golfed in a while. Shane S asks if I voted. I did not. I'll be voting on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm definitely not going to get into it with anybody about who I'm voting for. I feel like everyone's vote should be their own, and you know, I'm writing in. People complain. It is what it is, but you know, that's how it's going to be. Let's see. Appreciate that, Michael. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Chips. Yeah, my first hockey game I saw at the Rock, my friend Kyle took me. It was the Devils and the Golden Knights. Golden Knights were already my favorite team, and I really started to like the Devils. I kept going and so forth, and yeah. Hey, appreciate that, Ivan. I can't wait to see you guys. You know, I'm going to try, and anyone that has any information on any place that I could do like a live, you know, podcast or whatever, you know, has a microphone, you can do open mic night and just record it or like stream it or whatever. Let me know. I'm looking for a bar or something. I'm going to be there from the 22nd to the 27th. So if anyone has any info, I might start reaching out to different places. I know that Tom's Watch Bar, I know people say it's a 49er bar or whatever. Let me know. DM me about any Rams bars. Even if you go to them, reach out. Let them know, or, you know, show them my show or whatever. I would love to do a live event and meet all of you. So obviously, I'll see you guys at the game. But, you know, yes, Avenge Peanut, absolutely. So, yeah, if you guys have any details on that, just let me know. I'm going to Rams Eagles, so I'm trying to lock in something. I'll probably try reaching out and whatnot, you know, soon. Terrence, I would probably not go to a Clipper game just because I'm not a Clippers fan. It would be sacrilegious as a Laker fan to be like, yeah, I can't afford the Lakers game. Let's go to the Clippers. Something about that doesn't sit right. So Legends Bar, 2nd Street, Long Beach. You think that they would do a live stream? You think they would let me do a live podcast? They got like a mic and everything? Open mic night? You can stream at my house, man, if you want before and after the game. Oh, I appreciate that, but I do want to, I wanted to go to a live setting. You know, I wanted to go to a bar, very reminiscent to when I was in Mobile, Alabama. And if you guys ever watched the draft pod, what was it? Oh, what the hell was it called? Stick to Football. My friends Connor Rogers and Matt Miller, they did their own Stick to Football show at a brewery. And it was cool. They did like a live, you know, Q&A and everything. They're holding... Okay, cool. Well, let's try and do that. Because I'm definitely interested. So I'm going to reach out to people, see if we can plan something. And yeah, it would be a lot of fun. I just have to figure out, because I'm not going to bring my camera just because I don't want to get ruined or stolen or anything. So yeah, we'll see if we can make it work. I would love to do it 22nd to the 27th. I think we can make it work. I also have an interesting little thing in the works as well that will be happening in LA. Maybe going on a certain show. Like actually going into the studio? What could that be? Well, it's still in the works. We'll see what ends up happening. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Really, it's been a lot of fun. We've streamed for... Okay, now we are at the Irishman level, 3 hours and 29 minutes. So you guys have, if you've been watching since the beginning, you have watched me as long as the Iron Man. The Iron Man. Good Lord, man. This is why I got to get off. The Irishman. As long as the Irishman watch time. So, yeah. I'll see you guys. Appreciate you. I don't really have much else to say. Check out today's sponsor, PrizePicks. And do me a big, big fat favor. If you love me and you haven't already, be sure to follow me on kick.com/JKBogan. Okay? I just posted it. The link is pinned as well. It's also in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Have a good night, folks. And go Rams.